Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. What? Asim's already ruined it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I know the time has just gone live, so you just join us just as. Oh God, someone's talking. Okay, we're asking uploads. We're ready. E3 starts now.
Main tasks. The first one is to introduce
How's it going, boys?
Koch Media's brand new premium gaming.
So yeah, former next gen base Asim Tanvir, current next gen base Ben Ward. Let's go, boys.
Number 3 is to show you what the new label will be getting up to in the streaming world.
It's all gone a bit pear-shaped, hasn't it? We're only what 30 seconds in.
Who are co-streaming this today?
Perfect.
Some of you guys are guys who I have looked up to and watched for many years.
I hope the volumes and everything are okay, ladies and gentlemen.
For many years, I'm so proud to introduce Jeff.
Big Jeff. Big Jeff is here. Big Jeff is here.
Co-host us through this entire list of games.
Some headset that's just got on, isn't it?
How's it going?
Thanks, Opal. It is so great to be here with you for the first ever live stream from Prime Matter. I was honored yesterday to reveal
how's it going, Kalineko? How's it going?
Summer Game Fest kickoff event, and wow, you've got a lot of games there in that sizzle. Over a dozen games. So I know today you're going to go a little bit more in depth to talk about all these games, to talk to a lot of the developers. But for those of you that might have missed it yesterday or just want to see it again, let's kick things off with a look at that announcement sizzle reel.
Okay, so this is the thing that they showed off yesterday, basically.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we're, should we do some chat?
Yeah, I've just turned the volume down because you can tell that the production of the talking and the person like Jeff Keighley and that was so quiet, and then this comes on and it's so loud, so I'm having to adjust stuff on the fly. But yes, thank you very much. Welcome to Ice Cream Uploads here on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. It's our first day of our E3 coverage. We did this last year. We've done many watch-alongs. You've seen the faces that we've got in the chat already that are helping me today. Former Next Gen base Asim Tanvir and current Next Gen base Mr. Ben Ward. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us for our first episode. Well, it's not even an episode, it's our first day of some E3 coverage. Obviously, we did put out the announcement that we'll be joining everybody's channels. We're going to be doing this right for the next 5 days. But how are you boys doing?
I'm not bad, mate. It's I've been a bit, I don't know, a little bit ambivalent about E3, but after that stream last night, I was like, oh yeah, video games, they're fucking cool, aren't they?
Yeah, they're not bad. They're not bad. Yeah, I'm looking forward to all the conferences actually.
Yeah.
So, looking forward to seeing some stuff we probably know is coming and some new stuff. This one, we don't know really what to expect, I guess. So we might see some things that are surprising. Some new IPs maybe, because we're not going to see any purple dildos from Saints Row. So I mean,
yeah, I mean they've said there's going to be what? No Saints Row, no Dead Island,
no Metro,
no Metro. So I don't know. Like this is just going to be interesting. I mean, that's just seen there the Payday 3 tease, so I'm guessing there might be some more on that.
Yeah.
Let's crack the volume back up on this again. I do apologise, guys. We'll have to do all this on the fly. Obviously, the production of the guys over there, they're just moving the slider up and down, so yeah. Oh. Bit of lag on the old video.
I'll talk to you about what Prime Matter is and who we are. Prime Matter is the new premium gaming label of Koch Media. It dedicates itself to delivering a range of immersive and diverse games from amazing development talent.
That's the first thing I would have gone for.
It highlights the varied influences
She's definitely not Scouse.
And their different approaches to game
I mean, Koch are quite a continental company, so I guess they have people all around.
With larger than
Jordan says Southern.
Create incredible moments.
Yeah, maybe.
They're fun. The team behind Prime Matter is a melting pot of incredible talent, led by seasoned industry veterans and complemented by a young,
moving back and forth.
Dynamic team of
It's not the smoothest. I thought it might have been because I've got a million things running at once, but if everyone else is having
such a wide range of passionate developers producing games together by gamers.
Oh, Painkiller coming up next, apparently.
And that being said, for all you keen-eyed individuals,
there's no need for a star wipe then, was there?
One game was actually missing in our 12-game lineup for Prime Matter during the video.
I think they're doing it live as well.
It's a game that comes from the Embracer family itself.
Oh yeah, they announced Painkiller last night as well, didn't they?
All about Painkiller.
Classic FPS.
All right, you saw the news yesterday. Yes, there is a new Painkiller
People,
coming.
a new ring light in the background.
Is joining
Nice.
me now to maybe give us a few more
cleans
details. I know
Jeff Selp.
this is
He's got the batarang. Is it from Arkham City?
First of all,
yeah,
I love that you and
the Game Awards trophy as well.
Continuing to
and he's giving himself a Game Award.
Painkiller was a franchise. You and I are both OG. We remember it was probably 15 years ago at this point.
Yeah, it's been a while. You know,
You guys ever
closer
played
to
Painkiller?
than one.
I guess you did.
My God! All right, but it's one of those
yeah,
classic games.
Not as much as I
let me
should
ask
do,
you,
but yeah,
from a
it's all right.
Prime Matter perspective,
Yeah,
you know,
it was
you've been in
kind of
the
like
industry
during the
like
Max
me all
Payne
those
times,
years,
wasn't it? It
you
was kind of
remember
like that
game. Why
era
was this a
when it was
franchise that
all
you
the
guys
rage for
wanted
that
to
type of
sort
game.
Bring back.
Well,
I love this guy's shirt, by the way, just wanna
Painkiller. When I played it back in,
It looks like he's spilt something down the right-hand side of his shirt.
You know, it was.
It looks like
dark,
the Steven Seagal.
tense, guns. These are the things that
I
kind
mean,
of
I don't want to dunk on the guy. He's probably a really nice bloke, but
both as as a
Yeah,
fan
he had
and
a baby
also
there,
as a
like
publisher,
just
as
before it was starting, and just as he was about to go on with Jeff,
we're hoping
he was like,
elements
shit.
and bring those into the new game.
So,
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, if you
guys are
obviously,
certainly
thank you very much for joining us
masters of
there
doing,
for our first day
shooters
coverage.
from,
I
all
apologise,
your
I'm speaking
time
over
at
Sir Jeff
Id,
Keighley, but if you
Painkiller
think that you get
does have a
motion
lot of
sickness
that
from
DNA
watching
of
Ben's
sort of,
camera, it's
fast-paced
not you.
action with a little
He's
bit of
got
a
some
twist to it.
eye-tracking shit going on, and his
the fact
camera
you guys
goes
are
all
working
over
with
the
Prime Matter
place.
is also
So
exciting.
you're not pissed. You
brand
haven't
new
had too many to
publisher,
drink
brand
just
new
yet.
label.
It's just the way it is.
What do you think?
Sorry
of
for outing you, mate.
fact
I'm
that
dunking
you're
on you
doing
now.
this label and
I can
such
turn
a
it off
diverse
if you
lineup
want.
No,
of
absolutely not. I
companies
love
and
it.
partners
I'm a
around
massive
the
fan.
I love it too.
You guys work with a lot of publishers, but it's pretty exciting to see a new label announced. That doesn't
Speaking
happen
of
every day.
massive fans, I
No,
hope
it
my
does.
audio's all right and not
You
being
know, I
blown
think
away by the
that,
massive, and I've got my
within
window.
the Embracer
No,
group,
it's
you
fine,
know,
mate.
It's just
Good.
it's just a business that is growing. We've got great leadership at the top, and so Koch Media is wanting to expand their publishing, and I think
So is
that,
Prime Matter the
name
publishing
it
label?
shows
Is
Prime
that
Matter
correct?
sort of is,
Yeah.
sort of like
Yeah.
the primordial
Okay.
soup of
But
putting
is that
together
now
stuff from nothing. So
taking
it
over
kind
from
of makes me think of this
Deep
is what
Silver
we do when
then,
we make
or
video games.
is
We
that
sort
sort
of
of-
start with pixel
That was
Is
my
it?
follow-up question. Yeah, that was my follow-up
game. So
because I
feel
don't
like that,
see
that kind of
anything
resonates
Deep Silver
with
being talked
hopefully
about so far.
the
Anyway,
experiences
No.
that we're
Deep
gonna be
Silver,
providing,
massive. Like,
not
where were they
just
going to go though?
within Prime Matter and working with them.
Well,
with
they're
Saber
sort of
and
the
our
publishing
partnership,
arm
but,
of
across
Koch, aren't
the-
they?
across
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
Embracer
Yeah,
group as well.
So
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that's
it sounds
Shared
like they have a lot of
responsibility.
games
You'd keep doing
involved.
Silver though. They're
Are
massive. They're
bringing
bigger,
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
opinion.
Painkiller is really
I mean,
exciting,
it's
and I know,
strange, strange
fans, of
having
course,
two publishers under
wanna
one
know a little
like
bit about,
corporate branch. I guess.
what's the game
but-
going to
Yeah.
look? What's going to? How's it going to play?
For the
Bigger,
lads that are in
I
the
guess.
chat,
Share a lot of details.
is the
about
volumes
it, but
okay? Can
you're
you
kind
hear
of in the early stages
Asim
of
and Ben?
development now on
And
this?
can you hear
Yeah, super early.
obviously me and the
if I
audio for it? Is
I would
everything
say I'd
sound?
probably
Because I can
get
turn
the-
everything up and down. Like I said, the
Vaccinated
video
before back home
I am having
once
to
it
do on
got
the
back
fly
to
because
developer,
sometimes it's loud,
because,
sometimes
all
it's
these,
not.
the
Ad
first
says it's
stuff
fine,
comes
so we're
out
good to go,
almost always
guys.
gets sort of iterated on and
Well,
changed.
don't matter if we can't hear you, mate.
So
it's
we're
fine.
trying to keep the lid on the details.
I mean,
It's the last fucking time you come back here, Sunshine.
Awesome to show.
All right, well, we'll be waiting for it, and we know with you involved,
Love it.
it's going to be something very special, fast-paced action, I have no
gameplay?
doubt. So,
Nope.
new Painkiller
Absolutely.
coming soon from the team at Saber, published
Yep.
by Prime Matter. Thanks, Todd.
Thanks, Jeff.
I really can't wait to hear more about Painkiller.
Why is it on
and the
stage
fact
doing
that
this?
Todd and Tim and the team at Saber
all
are
from
working
home?
on it. I think we're going to get something pretty
But he was on a
special.
stage
Yeah,
last night.
Ready to share
No,
more.
that stage last night was just
So,
his
you know,
toilet. Like he's
exciting stuff about
walls.
sizzle reel,
Everything was done like
Painkiller,
green screen.
Payday, but I know there's a lot more we're here to talk about today as well, right, Opal?
Actually, Prime Matter has 12 games.
Oh, obviously
under
this is a
development
live, is it? That's why.
right at this minute.
Yeah, pre-recorded
We're
probably.
so
Yeah.
excited to show you guys what us and the developers have been up to. However, before you see some of the content that we show you today, I do have to make it clear that some of this is pre-alpha, alpha, high-level concept, and some of it is about to release right around the corner. So please keep that in mind when you're viewing today's show. That being said, how do you guys feel about a psychedelic third-person
Survival horror, baby just
survival
got a
horror
boner.
game?
No.
Set on what it means to go on a journey about self-enlightenment and what happens when it all goes wrong. I got to speak with the developers of the Chant work in progress title about their game and who they are.
Our game is about
One thing that I'm going to give massive props to for Koch is I think they was one of the first to come out and say that there wouldn't be games being shown And you've got to give massive props to that, because they're just setting expectations. And you know what the video game world's like? They will go into a fucking shitty meltdown if they don't see enough of something. So they set their stall out first. I give you massive respect for that.
Is this game?
Yeah,
it's a bit hard to pin down with
people didn't see Bloodborne 2 last night. They'd
with all the
freak
different
out.
influences and styles of gameplay.
They got Elden Ring.
They got Elden Ring. I mean,
Cool. And what was the thinking behind
I think you
that
said
genre?
earlier
Is it
that
something
a video
you
sort of
guys
seems to be
like,
going backwards and
or
forwards.
do-
I think
is it
she's
just
sat
it
against
came
like a
left field?
canvas
What's
or
your
something, and she keeps
decision
moving
behind
back and knocking it. It's pretty
Personally,
weird.
we always wanted to make a horror game. A big part of our core team.
I'm going to see any of this game. I need to see it.
Third-person sandbox games.
Sounds like a BB game.
And
just by words, no gameplay.
I
mean, just put the survival horror in there, and that's it.
I mean, the bees on the screen as well, so that's definitely a BB game.
You know, the horror genre was
That's
a
my
really
stamp of
exciting,
approval.
space to take that background. And play
As says,
around with.
Elden Ring series any good?
So,
Never played.
kind of
Elden Ring
sticking
isn't a
with the
series,
horror
mate.
Genre, why did you
Yeah, it's a
decide to go with that
new
theme? It's not
IP
really
from
like
the- from
normally
Software
what you
guys.
would see, this whole spiritual
Expect
awakening thing. So
the
what was
Dark
what was the
Souls-ish
idea
type
behind that?
experience
We
where
thought it was
you're
just kind of
probably going to go through a
an
couple of pads.
interesting, territory.
But you're
to
used to it playing
explore.
Weekend League, so don't worry about it.
There is, there's a lot of influence from that with
When
like
you say
folk
pads, you
horror
mean
of the
controllers, not
70s
like
and
incontinence
and
pads.
giallo horror and so forth that really inspired us more from a film standpoint. And taking that kind of aesthetic, something that was very sensational,
fair play to
very
Koch. They've got
colorful,
7,500 people
mixing it
watching
in
on Twitch.
with
For an account that's clearly just been made, it's not even got a profile picture, and the world's worst name for an account.
Was a fresh take on the horror
We know
space.
something you don't know.
So, kind of
I
speaking
think the
about your
GameSpot
inspirations and stuff,
stream on
what
YouTube's
video
probably got even more than that at the minute. It's
real-life
crazy.
media has inspired
There was
you
people
to
in
create
there
this
like
title?
45
Oh, you
minutes.
said
long.
Resident Evil.
Well, going
said
way
Resident
back,
Evil,
when,
Ben.
He said Resident Evil, baby, he did.
Resident Evil 2 is one of my favorite games of all
Eternal
time.
He's
Darkness.
got good taste. Resident Evil 2 is one of his
Alone in the
favourite games.
Dark,
He's got a very, very good taste.
Eternal Darkness. So a lot of
never
of
played
games are
Eternal
very
Darkness.
inspirational
I should
to
probably
us.
should
The
do.
game actually
What-
started off
what
as
game?
a
Classic
game
on the
with
GameCube.
fixed camera angles and so forth, and then we over the course of development. Just especially.
What is this
really
game called?
focusing
By the way, sorry, I missed the
on-
name of the game.
on
Or is it
the
as well.
action element to it. We,
Oh no, it's
I
a
know the
working
studio is
title.
switched
It's
to
a, it's a
an
working
older
title
camera
game.
and having
What,
looked
I
at
can't remember what it was
So
called. It was
kind of talking about changes and
Crush
and
or
what
something
you
like that.
guys
I probably
are
should
doing
write
on
this
the
down.
development side.
The
studio is
How
Brass-
close is the
Brass
game
Token,
to,
I
like,
think.
the
That's what the
original
studio is.
concept. I understand you guys are still developing the game's quite far out, but from your original concept to where the game is
just saw-
now, how much has that differed?
The core
Eric said in the
story
chat, Opals from
and,
Bolton,
I'd say
LinkedIn
the
massive.
aesthetic and the themes, those all remain intact. I'd
This
say our
is evil
gameplay,
story.
as our team size grew,
He's put-
we added.
Oh, right.
We
I
added
thought you said Resident Evil
we
is
added deeper
toilet. I was about to
mechanics.
start slapping
I'd say
someone up
more
then.
action to the game. Our game actually
To be
has a
fair,
fair
calling
amount
it
of
toys is
combat
just as
in
bad.
it, especially on the melee
So-
side. Those were things
This
that
is
weren't
not a
too
political
prevalent in
stream.
our
Yeah, I would say I did not sign up for a political stream,
a
lads.
lot of those things are just kind of based on.
Mate, I'm working class from Manchester. There's only one place I'm
going.
going, you know what I
Small
mean?
team at first. We're still a relatively small team, but every new person that joins, brings something new.
Right,
to
so
the
I've got an
mix.
E3
I'd
game
say
list
on
on my
that
phone
end,
now.
the game
So,
is-
and
the
we need
game
to-
has
I need to start
evolved
writing this shit down.
Scope and depth of gameplay.
Awesome. Kind of sticking on that point of, you got a small team, there's a lot of challenges that comes with that. What was the hardest part
just use
of
pen and paper like
making the
normal
game
people.
so far?
The hardest part was probably trying to make a
Stone
game
Age
that has
Save the planet, bro.
more realistic production values, because that's where our background comes from. On a smaller scale and budget. So for us, we had to be very
Here's a
strategic.
question.
Utilizing
Like,
Unreal
for these
we
streams,
wouldn't
just
have
in
been able to
general,
build this game
Do
without
you guys
utilizing
want this like
Unreal
gameplay,
Previously,
trailer,
we
trailer,
worked on
trailer,
more
or do you like the
proprietary
talking stuff in
technology.
between?
No, I don't
And
want
that's
talking
also
heads
great
constantly.
because
I
new
want it
people
to be
that
split
join the
up.
team can
Because I
get
think
on
it's
board
quite
and
tedious, because it feels like there's going to be a long period of silence
in addition
between
to
us
that,
listening
we've
to
been
these
using
guys. Otherwise, isn't
photogrammetry
it?
from the start.
Yeah, I think sometimes you
for
want to
both
have
our environments,
a little
all
bit
of our
like,
characters
particularly
are
if it's like a
also
big
star
creator
actors,
that's coming back with
and
a
we're
new game
using,
or something like that,
you
or
know,
a big
also
reveal,
tapping
and then
into a
they
lot
go like,
of what's
let's
going
have a
on
quick
in
chat
our
about
city.
it. But I just
Vancouver is
think,
a pretty big film industry, so
yeah,
really tapping into the film.
would probably say
effects
this has maybe
industry
gone on a
and-
little
and,
bit too.
tapping into that
this
area of
point.
expertise.
For me,
to
to
just
be
kind
able
of
to sell a
try to do
game,
things,
the
as
behind the scenes
efficiently
stuff
as
is
possible.
great.
So
but
you've
this is
mentioned,
kind of
like,
stuff that you put out
experience in the
alongside the game, not
past
trying
and
to
also
hype the
kind of
game
how
up. Like, you
rich
just want to know what the
Vancouver
game's
is. How
about,
much does that
what genre
come
it's
in
in,
handy when you're
and then
working
a
on the
tiny,
game?
maybe a 10-second
it's
trailer
been,
and
extremely
maybe a minute of
beneficial.
gameplay. I mean, that's for me, that's all you
Vancouver,
need
home
to build
a
the
lot
hype.
of AAA studios.
Yeah, totally.
A large portion of us work together at Rockstar and
Because
United Front
this stuff
Games,
only applies to
and
the
we also have
hardcore,
people
really. I mean,
who have,
this is the kind of
worked
stuff you'd
at the
read in
Coalition and
PlayStation
EA,
Magazine or PC
as
Gamer
well
or
as
something. Do you know what I mean? Like a proper interview with
smaller
a
independent
developer or
studios
someone
as well.
who's
And
alongside
in
the
addition to
product,
that,
not someone who's trying to sell a fucking
having the
game.
film
Like, this
industry
isn't...
here where we can utilize local talent.
Well, wouldn't you
working with union
playing devil's
actors,
like playing devil's advocate? Wouldn't you say the hardcore people that probably are watching this anyway?
And we're actually currently auditioning.
Actually, no, because I know there's a lot of my friends who have zero interest in what I have to say about video games until they ask me. Like, I would never be able to mention a game to them. They will come to me and say, "Have you seen this game?" They have no interest in what I do.
Cinematics push.
I'm going to use the term loosely with what we do with the Scoop.
Right now.
Journalistic to a
great.
very small extent. They have no interest in that. Not like what Ben does on a daily basis with next gen base.
I think the thing I'm the
they
most
will be
proud
interested
of
in watching
is
stuff like
just
this because E3 is the first opportunity to be able to see all the new games coming out for the year. And then I always prefer Gamescom anyway, because usually the first time you get to see gameplay or have the option to be able to play the games a lot of the time. But
I think a lot of the stuff is like
an amazing
this
amount of
is
work for.
It's kind of that mark you have on your calendar where it's like, right, okay, this is when I know that all the games are happening. And it's like, yeah, I just think, I think there's probably a line to be drawn somewhere in the middle between like short, snappy trailer, interesting talk, and
a lot different to probably
it seems
what
like
some
this
of
is
you
possibly
used to coming from those
finally,
massive, studios. So finally, what are the benefits of signing up with a global publisher like Koch and also, being featured on their brand new label?
It's truly an exciting place to be. We've been kind of pushing our game as far as we could, and this partnership is really helping to provide more reach,
for this.
And
I mean, it's not much excitement. It's still
importantly, also having a partnership on getting feedback and helping to really.
Have you got the other screen on?
I've got the other screen. I've got 3 screens basically here.
We've already received a lot of
I hope you've got a
feedback
fan in there. You're going to blow up in a minute.
Team,
I mean, I might.
in our own little echo chamber, and
I might just go on
even
iPlayer
in a short period of time, we've been able to act on a lot of the feedback, and the game has improved considerably.
Ooh, they're going to do some Kingdom Come Deliverance. You guys played that? Kingdom Come, that's the proper medieval RPG. It's like realistic and shit.
I've not played it, but I've heard so many good things about it.
To get their hands on the content. So thank you for your time.
What was that game called? To internet rumors, our next developer created the huge open world of Bohemia and took us on an adventure through the Holy Roman Empire. However, there have been some leaks that this action RPG may have a home on the Switch. Opal sat down with Warhorse Studios to try and get to the bottom.
Okay, it's Kingdom Come on the Switch.
Kingdom Come Deliverance on the Switch.
That's ridiculous. That game is like,
yes,
apparently on the
true.
PC, it's
Kingdom
like
Come
a
Deliverance is
hog
coming to
for like
Nintendo
graphics
Switch.
and like CPU
As you
and
said,
everything like
it's
that.
about gamers, devs, and games. In our case, or in this case, actually gamers play an integral part in the story.
What do you mean?
Well, some kind of confusion happened in
That's
the end of last year.
But you see, this is what I was trying to say the other day. Like having a Switch Pro is fantastic because more AAA games or more games of this ilk that would never ever be able to run on anything but a top tier console like this. I'll be very surprised if it looked half as good as it did on the Nintendo Switch. It does on all the other consoles if it wasn't intended to be made for the Switch Pro and then dumbed down even further for the original Switch.
Japan.
Yeah, I mean,
this information, some Japanese
the biggest example of the game that really surprised me with the Switch was probably The Witcher.
The talk of the day.
Like Witcher 3
I always leave that one out.
On the Switch.
I always go with Wolfenstein and Doom.
Nothing like that was
planned. Oh yeah, I mean they look amazing as well.
Think about that. Now,
it's incredible that you can have that running in your pocket on the train.
It was still somehow passing around in the Nintendo database. Nintendo of Spain.
I'd be up for Twitter, a Switch Pro. I think. I've not really touched my Switch all that much, but this sounds like it might be. Yeah, it sounds like it might be one of those that's potentially coming short because
Nintendo Store.
Yeah.
And
if it's going to be running on a normal Switch, the battery will probably last about 2 years.
Yeah. I mean, the Witcher takes up so much battery time.
Confusion. And it will just melt in your hands.
Talking about it again, like, okay, so is it coming? Is it not coming?
Even if
for us, actually, and as I said, we didn't think about that until that time. For us, we started to think there's a lot of
Enix says Kingdom Come is brilliant RPG and world. Defo check it out. I've got that for. I'm sure it got given away on PlayStation. I've 100% got it on Epic Games Store. Because they give it away as well.
And
I think it was on Epic. Yeah,
already
I think it was. You're right.
Koch Media family or the Embracer family. And
Ad says 4K Switch is happening. Zelda in 4K.
And who but them would be actually
that would melt some lives away, that wouldn't it?
The Kingdom Come Deliverance version on the
100%.
Switch. So we sat together, and now
there's no Switch Pro announced, and these guys are talking Switch.
So what you're saying
a bit awkward.
The community of gamers made this happen?
More or less, yes. The community feedback we got, of course, was a big drive for this entire project. But
that is a magnificent
this comes from our general background.
It is.
So
I mean,
of the Kickstarter
Ben's is a good effort, but this lad's pulled it off.
Community, there wouldn't be any.
Mine did get similar to that not that long ago.
So we
this guy 100% has beard oil.
To them and working with them, and even coming up with crazy ideas together with them. So, for instance, the Savior Schnapps. Our own we created later.
He just sounds like he's going to walk out of the studio and like get a massive shield strapped to his arm and a big sword, like proper Viking style.
Blue brick set, like a
slowly starts putting his chain armor on.
And now one of the latest projects is the
Ad says Bibi's older brother.
Soap bar.
There's a bar of soap.
Should give you
that for his beard?
medieval smell.
A medieval smell.
In that case, I must say, medieval smells actually pretty well.
I've been to Jorvik in York and gone through that bit, and there's some medieval smells in there.
Our next new
wouldn't want to try it.
Project is a Farkle boxed board game, kind of. So Farkle, for those who don't know, that's like this Kingdom Come Deliverance minigame, a dice minigame you can play in the game. And now with Griffon Studios,
Enix says, can't wait to smell that BO and medieval horseman.
Yeah, I just read
at home against your friends or against your family or whatever. So that's pretty cool if you ask me. But generally, if you're interested in these kind of stuff, just check the Warhorse Studios social
Looking at their
accounts.
chat, and people are saying, where are the video games?
Ooh, my favorite. Soapy hot news.
But I had a fear that this would happen.
Soapy hot news.
How do you drag it out for an hour?
Warhorse being under the new label Prime Matter.
It's a huge honor, of course. We were working together.
Right, we're helping them drag it out
already. In 2019, we then even became part of the
entire chat in this stream is just video games question mark.
Being able to take part.
And then you see one thing saying soap.
Be there when there's a new label being created. That is a big thing for us. And especially if you consider that we come there as an established partner already, that is really cool, and we are looking forward to a bright future.
Thank you very much, Toby. We cannot see what Warhorse has got cooking. However, until that time, Toby, goodbye.
So are we. Thank you very much, and see you.
From internet rumors back to reality, we will have more on Kingdom Come Deliverance for Switch as we get it.
All right, let's move from RPGs to FPS games. Final Form, which is a working title, is an action-packed sci-fi adventure.
Jeff's very clearly not got his normal auto cue, has he?
He's reading from the screen, you can tell.
To the edge of the known universe, battle an unstoppable plague. The game is still a long ways from completion.
Oh, gameplay.
We've got a trailer!
At what's in store.
No freaking
Or a trailer. Your camera just panned out there. That's amazing. I love that. The final game without gameplay only. Nice. Okay.
Ooh. Oh, it looks fast.
Have we seen this before? Have we seen this before?
I'm getting Ghost Runner vibes from it.
Yeah.
It looks very fast.
Yeah.
Using Unreal Engine, okay. Well, at least we saw something. At least we saw a trailer.
What was that, 15 seconds? Nice.
It probably was, yeah. Oh.
Hi, we are Raycon Games,
That's the lad,
and what you
Jakob.
have just seen is the first glimpse of our upcoming game called named Final Form.
Final Form is an action-packed, epic sci-fi FPS.
It's like this guy took Ben's beard and just pasted it on himself.
On a space mission with no return.
It's the industry standard, mate.
I'm trying to write so fast as they're talking, it's just, this isn't going very well. I should have typed this up on my phone.
In Final Form, it's all about the freedom and power of movement, being a machine unrestrained by human weaknesses. There are numerous abilities and gadgets that come with your robotic body, so you can give yourself away to the fantasy of becoming an unstoppable cybernetic goddess, blazing away in a spectacular battle of destruction.
It definitely sounds... Did either of you play Ghost Runner?
Yeah,
no,
I played Ghost.
I didn't.
Excellent.
Is located
yeah,
in
it's a decent game, and it sounds it's a little bit like that, but with guns instead of swords.
The studio was founded and is managed entirely by game developers.
There you go. Enix in the chat. Ghost Runner is sick.
It is really good.
Grown quite
really good. Cracking game.
Currently, Raycon is over 50 brilliant game creators, and counting. We are not a huge team.
Trying to order a takeout, but they say it's offline.
Gutted. Mate. Project. Constantly finding smarter and better ways
is best played on PC. Yeah, I played it on. I played it on PC. I managed to get a 3080 at retail price, which I'm incredibly pleased with.
He's a scalper. He's a scalper.
So 700 quid, mate. No, that was retail. What am I doing?
All of that into a game.
Like just
the partnership
looks incredible.
Yeah,
like,
with RTX on. Excellent,
We're happy to be in the avant-garde of the upcoming new label. We're looking forward to share more on Final Form in the future. And in the meantime, please enjoy the rest of the show and see you around.
Men dressed like dolls, or?
Fuck's sake! I said on our Discord today, incredibly shit puns, and here we go.
I have to say, guys,
that's what I bring to the table.
Moving on to our next game, which is just as special. What if you took Lovecraftian and Gagares themes and mixed it all together with hardcore RPG elements? That's exactly what Massive Works Studios are doing. I got to sit down with their CTO to talk about their game, Dolmen.
She's always had her headphones on.
Oh, we've got a trailer there, or what?
We have
world premiere. We're in at the bottom.
You need voice mod for that.
World premiere.
There we go. Perfect.
Okay.
This looks a bit like Anthem, but not shit.
Oh wow, going in.
But I say the bar isn't that high, then is it?
Yeah. Ooh, some horror vibes. Very Doom. Reminds me of Doom. When I think of it, I see Doom. Always got back.
I mean, I'm going to say this with the utmost respect. It doesn't look very original, does it?
No. But that doesn't mean it's bad.
Well, no. Formula works.
Yeah. I mean, that is a big mother effing alien. There's no dolls, basically, but there are a lot of aliens.
I wonder if it's third or first person.
Gabriel Ferreira, CTO of Massive Works Studios, who joins us now from Campinas near São Paulo in the southeast of Brazil. So, Gabriel, what is Dolmen
He
about?
needs my camera.
First of all, it's a pleasure to be here and for this video. Well, so let me tell a little bit about what Dolmen is.
It's just pointing at the ceiling.
Dolmen is that kind of game where the hero needs to save everyone from an alien.
I reckon he started higher up in his chair, just broken his slowly
keep going forward. Yeah,
poor guy.
Kind of game that's
sorry.
I
shouldn't be cruel. I shouldn't be cruel.
In this game, you actually save the drillers, which is the alien species that live on that planet. But you
just saw the chat.
What Enix said. Save its investment. So you're not really the nice guy that's trying to save
I'm not reading that
It's just a job. But we hope that the
we can all think it instead.
Consider the humanity, the greed, the war, and the spares and the challenges that come to mind along with that job. Taking all that part, and yes, Dolmen is also about fighting all kinds of monsters and struggling. After all, it is a hard game. It's a hardcore game. It's
inspired
on Souls-like. So yes, you're going to die a lot.
Doom Souls.
Thank you. So, when thinking about the name Dolmen, obviously you guys went for
mentioning
that for like a very specific
Souls-like game.
What's the thinking behind the name? Why did you
I know
go for
you two
Dolmen?
probably played it and enjoyed them anyway, but would that put you off if you was just the average consumer? Because I feel like the player pool just goes like down to nothing.
I am not a fan of the Souls series. That's just like I appreciate them and I get them, but like not for me.
I'm an admirer, and I play them all, but I'd never finished like a Souls game. The only Souls-like game I finished is Bloodborne, because I got on with it. It was a bit more doable, as I said in the chat today earlier.
I know that people may or may not have heard
I guess it also brings with it a lot of like expectations as well. Like you immediately think Dark Souls or Bloodborne or now Elden Ring, obviously. So you're thinking it needs to have that,
it's been a long journey since
kind of balance with the mechanics. And it also makes you think of Returnal now. Actually, this,
I was going to say, that was the next game I was going to mention. Yeah,
this is kind of reminding me of like the pitch for Returnal is like, the roguelike side of things. I mean, I really enjoyed Return. I think we gave it an 8.5.
Did you finish it?
If it wasn't
yeah.
Amazing. I know a lot of people have put it down and sold it.
Yeah. I nearly threw a controller through a wall, but I did finish it. But the really annoying thing is that the trophies, because I was playing it pre-release, the trophies were glitched. And I've not got the trophy that says I've finished Act 2, but I've got the trophies that say that I've finished
First of all,
Act 1 and 3. Or I've beat the bosses. So basically, like I've not beaten the middle boss, but I've beaten the other ones if you look at my trophy list. It's nonsense.
Really passionate and we really love Souls-like games. So
I feel like his player base. He's mentioned it again.
Dark Souls.
Like, you're the player base in this who might have looked at the trailer and go, actually, that looks really cool. You mentioned those two words together, and I feel like the player base just reducing significantly because it's a very niche game in terms of are you going to get along with it? Like you two said, Jordan's asked in the chat to you, Asim, have you played Sekiro?
I did. Again, I didn't finish it. I got probably about halfway through and just like hit a brick wall, basically. Not a literal brick wall, but I mean, I probably should have banged my head against it. But yeah, it was good as well. But it's you hit a brick wall and you just can't go back to it. You need to start again, really, from the beginning if you want to go through it again.
Yeah,
and I think some of the stuff with the Soul series for me has been the setting, because I'm not like a huge fantasy fan. So this might be a little bit more up my alley because it seems a bit more sci-fi.
I mean, they're all good games. Like, if you look at them, like from a point of view, just like as mechanical and like game wise, etc. But they serve a niche, and it's probably becoming a bigger niche, but not like that. It's probably a multi-million. Rather than a multi-million seller, it's probably like a few million seller, like just like 1 million or a few 100,000 copies.
Yeah.
Was there any other routes that you considered at first?
Yeah. Well. The humans are afraid of what they don't know, and the universe has.
Is he slipping down further?
It
looks like it, doesn't it?
He just looks like he's moving further down the screen.
So
it's just going to be a forehead the next time it pans to him.
Really was something that we could use.
It looks like he's in his at home or in an office.
Everything that are insane.
That looks like a home setup if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
So we wanted to use the sci-fi as a tool to reach this goal.
If that was me, I would have drawn a cock on that whiteboard 5 minutes before I started talking.
And he can enjoy it.
No, absolutely. And while we're kind of
an S with the 3 lines and then the 3 lines underneath.
You guys are based in Brazil, which is awesome. Are there any specific challenges that you faced during development because of that, or just in general?
Yeah,
Jordan says a huge example was Lawbreakers. I worked with them and the game was way too hardcore because they're focused on that crowd. It was hard, though, even though it did showcase an esports event. I felt games like in a live fantasy world is hitting all the wrong niches.
2021 was a big challenge for us.
it's really hard to get like a new IP off the ground with, you know, a very niche audience and try and make it like a AAA seller. You're never going to get that. Like if you kind of stick to your core audience, stick to your niche, and kind of accept that you're maybe not going to get the numbers that, I don't know, like a Call of Duty or something would. I think that's probably going to be the key. So I mean, if they're not aiming for ridiculous sales numbers on this, then I think it might. You know,
they're probably not. They're probably not. I mean, as soon as you say Souls-like, you're immediately competing with From Software, and they're the kings of that genre. But I mean, I can't imagine this game's got like a massive budget or like a massive development cost. He said there was a small team, right? I think. So I imagine
that room probably has everyone in it, and there's only him and some other bloke.
That below him.
Excuse me. Development and challenges.
I didn't mean like that, but now I see what you're saying.
Takes how a game evolves throughout its development.
Lawbreakers, was that kind of Cliff Basinski's
game?
Well, it was a boss kit.
There are different point of views on
Unfortunately, the greatest battle royale game ever ended up going down the Swanee with that as well. Rest in peace, Radical Lights. We never knew what we had.
Concept from.
Isn't this where you play the music?
Graham's got it on his. I have it as my ringtone.
Oh, where's Graham?
So it diverged in two senses, and one of them, when we first
I feel like
the game
I don't want to like dunk on anyone, but I feel like their talking sections are a bit too long.
I think this it probably would have been a couple of minutes and just gone, okay, cool, there we go. But this has now gone on for about 8 minutes.
So people that loves lore and loves.
I mean, fair play to them for like putting on a show. There's lots that goes into it. I mean, even us doing this stream, there's a lot that goes into it, as we know. But I think if you're going direct to the consumer, I think it needs to be kind of pretty concise. Pretty concise.
It's got to be kind of like, right, here's game, here's game, here's game, here's game.
Which is how, I mean, Jeff Keighley's got experience of it now. So like Summer Game Fest is kind of like that. It's game. There's a bit of talking, but not too much. It hits the right balance.
Here we go. Devil's advocate. Usually Graham would do this, but he's not here. He's not dead. He's just not here today.
That point of satisfaction, you know.
They had this hour slot. It's obviously going to be an hour now. We're 35 minutes deep. They had an hour slot. Do you think that they had other announcements in there that they've had to pull, so they've had to fill it with this for much longer? So it actually had an hour runtime, or could they have condensed all of this into an half an hour show?
The development of the game,
I think
seeing as you are
probably
as well. What was the hardest
I think they probably could have pushed this into half an hour, but I don't think that they would have had something that they've had to pull with that short notice. I think that might have been a bit too kind of. I don't think the kind of people that like fly by the seat of the pants on that one. I think they'd be like, right, okay, we've got an hour, we've booked an hour for it, we've got a load of stuff sorted, and then when they've looked at it, they've gone, right, okay, well, I'm sure we could put a couple of interviews in there, and then maybe it just kind of got a bit out of hand, I guess.
So we decided to go full in.
Add in the waffle. Like, this is probably the director's cut, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's
going to show up in a minute.
I believe the hardest part of the game was.
I think what they want to do is they obviously want to give the devs their time to speak as well and talk about their game, but it's a balancing act when you're talking direct to the consumer.
Is this the time and place?
No, I mean it's tough. Like you want to give the devs their time, in the spotlight, but it needs to be a minute or two max.
I mean, the perfect example for me was when they announced was it Deviation Studios last night?
Yeah.
They went, right, here's studio logo, here's what they're going to be doing, got the guys out, they said, right, we've got a new studio, hello to everybody that's working for us, and oh, by the way, we've got an announcement, showed the PlayStation stuff, and it's like, cool, that's it, that's the end of the conversation. Whereas now it's a bit like, okay.
So the game that is not unfair, but is hard. So we wanted to aim hardcore players.
This is pre-recorded. Like, do they not have an editor?
Like 5 years.
Because it's a bit like
crazy long time.
Just drop it up a little bit.
Kept yourself motivated. How have the team kept
offer your services?
I I won't say that it was easy.
Oh, mate, they couldn't afford me.
But I would say that most of all,
you can find yourself another one of those flying cameras. There you go.
In order to play the game, even now that we are remote.
It's the Ava Media PT350, decent camera.
Making a media showcasing what we are doing and working alongside.
#ad, #spawn.
Hashtag not sponsored, but I did get it
things that happened before COVID.
That's the word you want.
Was the events. The events always made us super happy. So showcasing the game to everyone and getting the
chat is still going crazy
and see how you react.
I can imagine you're getting to the point now, nearly 40 minutes in, and we've seen overall collectively about 30 seconds of anything.
Like everyone's missing that event feeling, right? When you actually get
dropped
to see
like
people
1,000 views as well,
and you're like, oh wow, everyone's loving our games. I think it's something that everyone is missing, definitely. Speaking of kind of motivation and happy times, what are you most proud of this game? What have you guys worked on?
We're waiting for the finally word, aren't we?
We did that.
I
mean, that literally zoomed into you there, Ben, so that added for dramatic effect.
It has a lot of background from it. So, for example, we even made some comics for it that we prepared. We had
on the other side, if anyone's watching about the football, it's still 0-0 as well. So
we're not missing much.
So really
I have to pull that up on iPlayer now, but
this game that we made.
I mean, I'm hoping Ubisoft is more exciting tomorrow.
I just want a bit of activity, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, Ubi ones have been pretty good recently, the ones they've done. They've been pretty much like game, a little bit of talking in between. But they've, I think they've kind of got better as they've done them as well. So maybe, hopefully, Koch will get better as they do them as well.
That is something that
they'll be getting a shitload of feedback from this. Surely there'll be somewhere
awesome. Speaking of partnership with
a room just going,
what are the benefits of signing up
we
with
didn't
a
sign
great
this off.
publisher like Koch?
I mean, this feels very much like a marketing presentation because they end every section with, and what do you think about the partnership with Koch Media? It's like, that's not something you put in an E3 show.
Takes care of the operation that we couldn't make it for ourselves. They have an amazing.
I feel rude speaking over this, but
localization.
I know it feels tough because, like, full disclosure, I've got friends at Koch as well. Like, I'm pretty sure Ben knows people at Koch as well.
I know people at Koch.
They're a lovely group of people, and they do very well. But it's the first time doing something like this, right? I think so as well.
Yeah, it's the first time they've had their own thing.
And being part of this new label.
Well, the feedback will be, we're not doing that again. We're doing something else completely.
And also
surely, like if you want to try and promote your games, there's various ways of doing it. But at E3, if they're dropping 1,000 people within the first 25 minutes, that's an issue.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Absolutely, we are so happy to have you guys on board, and more importantly, I am so excited to actually let people play this game at some point under this new label. So thank you so much for your time, Gabrielle. It's been awesome talking to you, and let's release Dolmen at some point under the new label. Thank you for your time, and see you later.
Thank you. See you.
Here we go.
Now, the first title from Prime Matter will be the beautiful, highly anticipated King's Bounty 2. We have a first look at the gameplay trailer, and then Opal got a chance to sit down and talk with CEO Nikolai Baryshnikov.
Oh, okay. This one.
The balance is off.
Yeah, this is a baby game. No?
I was waiting for that. I wanted to see who said it first. I was waiting for a text off Graham saying this looks like a baby game.
Nostria dances on the knife's edge of fate.
This looks
King
great.
Claudius, my father, cannot lead, and his absence has set the realm in motion. Something is coming. Now the burden of the crown falls onto me. Nostria was flourishing.
I do like trailers like this, 'cause it's just like, everything else is brown, but here's some fucking colours. Go for it.
It used to be beautiful here. My wife and I had a nice life then.
Conspiracy, sabotage, necromancy. They all threaten this land asunder. But we must unite, for distorted terrors are advancing.
I love the look of this.
Yeah, it looks good.
Rumors tell of a false prophet, putting our hope in something that does not exist.
Definite BB game. I'm pretty sure that's Graham in the chat.
Our savior
Yeah, it is.
is among us.
All the character models look the same though, which worries me. It's like they've just copied and pasted the same template, added a beard, changed the hair.
Hey, they did that with me and Michael McIntyre.
The darkness and preserve the light of our land. For Nostria.
Okay, that's quite soon as well.
August on Nintendo Switch. Interesting.
Oh wow.
It's not coming out for next gen. Obviously, Xbox One. It'll probably
Hello there, guys.
upscale
Thanks
or whatever.
For joining me, and I am joined by Nikolai Barinshnikov from 1C Entertainment,
In brackets,
who is
BB game.
CEO and creator of King's Bounty 2. So King's Bounty has been years in development and has a 30-year
I'm still trying to place where her accent is. It sounds like she's partly Scottish, but then has travelled to the US.
Was a grandfather.
How's it going, Graham?
Of series like
How's the desk and the room coming along?
Turn-based gameplay.
If it looks anything like mine, he'll be happy.
Have you got a floating camera?
Jordan says that she's from Bolton.
Like chess.
Yeah, he checked. He checked her LinkedIn.
That's
Oh, I completely missed that. I completely missed that.
King's Bounty.
Absolutely, and kind of speaking about that, and
He's
I know as you mentioned, the first
Stalker.
King's Bounties was 1990, and then you had your the King's Bounty.
Don't get me
You
done for
guys
defamation.
created
No,
the-
no.
What technical
There's a
improvements
lawsuit
now that
coming.
we're in 2021 are you most excited about implementing into the new King's Bounty 2?
Well, I'm a huge.
Okay, so there was 20 minutes spent talking about that last game.
Was it 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Shit.
It was quite a long time.
The battlefield was always a flat surface, so now we're bringing the battlefield into 3D. So we will have, line of sight, hills. Like simple example, if your archers are located on the hill,
wonder if it's going to be multiplayer.
Damage for the high ground, etc. So
As in, like what we've seen with
step forward. And then
Elden Ring yesterday.
Yeah, because they confirmed that's 4-player, didn't they?
They did. They did.
That's the only way I'll play that. Just let you know that.
Ask him in the chat, asking for a carry.
Pretty much. Pretty much. I mean, I hope it's consistent multiplayer, not like Bloodborne where you had to like ring a bell and you can only do it like once in a blue moon. If it's consistent multiplayer and you're going together, I think that's cool.
This is not.
Oh, that's what I'm looking forward to with Dark Alliance as well. I know, but I'll keep on mentioning this game, but that game is speaking to me. I cannot wait, and it's coming on Games Pass as well, which you cannot argue about.
Will this King's Bounty 2 follow the other
Thing is,
stories
anything that comes on Game Pass, I'm like, yeah, I'll try it.
Give it a go. Why not?
Yeah, of course.
In previous games.
What do you think to this rumour, by the way? And I know this is going completely off from the conference that we're meant to be watching.
Have we ever been on topic?
The rumour that Battlefield's coming to Game Pass Day 1.
It wouldn't surprise me.
It was not like an epic RPG.
That'll be a big move. Big move.
So the game was more.
I was
See, there's a
speaking.
part.
Go on, sorry.
I was going to say, there's a big part of me that wonders, like, whether EA are just going to say, right, okay, most of our games are going to launch Day 1 on Game Pass now, because FIFA prints money anyway. The £60 price tag to get into FIFA, that makes them like nowhere near the rest of what Ultimate Team does.
An epic RPG.
Yeah.
However,
Do you reckon that's going to be a thing?
Via EA Play only. I don't think it'll come on just via Xbox. I think they will have to broker a deal with EA Play first.
Well, I mean, EA Play's included in Game Pass now, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's only it's
not the Pro. I suppose. Yeah, it's not the Pro one.
Yeah. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I think you get 10 hours with it, don't you, before you have to upgrade to the Pro version to then get it. So they may remove that barrier. But I mean, I was speaking to someone the other day, I can't remember who it was, talking about Final Fantasy, because it was a timed exclusive on PlayStation, wasn't it? But it's eventually going to come to the Xbox maybe next year, or later on this year. I can't remember where the exclusivity runs out. But imagine if that went on Games Pass Day 1.
Yeah.
That's a statement, my friend.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, the biggest thing, the biggest shock for me was when MLB went straight onto Game Pass. It's like, that is a PlayStation brand, a PlayStation Studios game
enhanced.
It's 60 quid on PS5,
kind of
and it's
about the
free
story
on
of
Game
King's
Pass.
Bounty 2 and how it differs.
Mental.
It appears to have a darker, more gritty aesthetic.
I think what Game Pass does, it brings in the users into the games.
Around that? Why did you decide to go with that?
It will obviously keep a certain percentage there, and like for that type of game, for like FIFA or MLB, whatever.
And again,
they want to keep people playing because they have like in-game stuff. Whereas FIFA has Ultimate Team, MLB has something similar as well, I believe. So yeah, I mean that is very desirable for certain studios to keep that player base there. So I could see, I mean, as Ben said, like Battlefield, I could see them brokering a deal. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens.
I mean, either way, it's going to be a day one purchase for me because I'll be playing it on my PS5 rather than on my PC. I don't think the PC will be able to handle the smoke that game's going to be producing.
It's like you're there just wiping the smoke away from your screen. This is really realistic, and you turn and you realise your PC's on fire.
If someone could put exclamation mark, what was it, PUBG in the chat for Graham's smoke grenade with his PlayStation 4 Pro, when he threw a smoke grenade and his PlayStation 4 reset itself.
I was watching that live. I remember that. That was hilarious. That was hilarious.
I haven't got chat bot on, so that's not going to work.
And I don't think that it's a good idea
My bad.
to take a game of 2008 and just make a replica with slightly enhanced graphics in 2021. So you need, especially for consoles.
I really don't want to shit on this conference because that's not what I do, but I'm really not feeling it.
Game digitally or online. Okay, this is like a 49, 59 game.
No, as I said at the beginning of the show, I'm so glad that they set the expectations beforehand because I feel like this could have been a disaster for them.
Yeah, so we've mentioned
with the games that they wasn't going to show, but this still
like ways that you can play the game, basically.
Really talking heavy. And again, I feel rude speaking over them, but this isn't. It doesn't feel like the snappy other conferences that you come to expect, where you literally just got your mouth open for
game design and how people play
and there's an innuendo coming in here.
Video game.
Yeah, I think the likes of like State of Play or the Xbox ones they used to do regularly, and Nintendo Directs, they kind of spoil people, I guess, to a certain degree as well. They're just bang, bang, bang. Maybe a bit of talking in between.
It's limited though, isn't it? Like you said, to like 2 or 3 minutes max.
Yeah, sure.
It becomes, I don't know, Mass Effect or Kingdom Come.
Jordan says just turned into their just tuned in their channel. Comments are being deleted like crazy by mods.
But obviously, this is before. So this is
there's some nasty comments about the woman host as well. That's not nice. That's not nice.
You don't insult the people.
That's not nice. I mean, she's doing her job, and she's being very enthusiastic about her job, which is that's good. And she's that's not nice. That's not nice to see.
I'm sorry, it's a different game.
Yeah, and in terms of we've mentioned kind of this new.
This is why I tend not to look at the comments for like the Capcom one, for instance, when they was doing the Resident Evil one. There's no way I'm looking at the comments on that, and then all the other E3 and Gamescom and all the other shows that I've watched, I just turn the comments off because it's just.
What was actually the hardest?
It's almost as bad as football Twitter, and that is horrific at the best of times.
Kind of caused you the most headaches.
It is hard to say. First of all,
I mean, I'm a fan of a League 2 team, and even I'll say it's horrible.
So there are specific technical issues.
Jordan says she's doing a good job presenting shame. Unfortunately, Twitch chat is always horrific. I agree.
Agree.
You are not having a headache.
As somebody that does like YouTube content as well, it's like you want to get the comments because you want that engagement, you want that back and forth, and then one comes through. It's like, oh, this review spoiled the whole game. No, it hasn't. No, it really hasn't at all. It's like you want the comments, but when you get the comments, they're just looking awful. It's ridiculous.
Should just double down on that and just put spoiler free in the title. That'll piss them off even more.
I'm not going to go there, but yeah, like the Ratchet review, basically, I stuck to the embargo and all the guidelines to the letter, and like was really meticulous with it. And then one of the first comments was like, "Oh, this has just spoiled it." Mate, if you think this is a spoiler-filled review, I can probably tell you about 2 things that would ruin the game instantly for you.
Always fun.
In-game based cutscenes.
I mean, On the game, by the way, is it a turn-based RPG, or is it just a normal RPG?
King's Bounty, it ringed a bell.
Absolutely.
It rung a bell. It ringed a bell. Yeah, it rung a bell. And I'm fairly certain. I was going to ask you guys if you knew, but I thought it was an RTS.
That provides us.
Yeah, I think it's turn-based. I'm pretty sure it's turn-based. I've seen it before.
Because
that probably makes a lot more sense as to why it will be capable of running on a Nintendo Switch.
Writing pieces of code, or
I'm pretty sure it's like more of like a there you go. I think Enix has confirmed it. Yeah, turn-based.
You need a lot of support.
I feel there would have been better releasing written content, maybe, so people would digest the content and what people are saying. Yeah, I mean, kind of a blog post with videos and trailers and stuff might have been a better way of getting some of this out.
Making mass market communication.
But as Asim said earlier, it's totally right that the devs get their moment to show off and talk about stuff. But
it should be on their YouTube channel.
We're on the market for many years.
Yeah, I mean, either that or just kind of have like a question or two and then say, for the rest of our interview, go to the YouTube channel and get, stuff like that.
Yeah, we've got 5 minutes left. If it's an hour long, we've got 5 minutes left.
I mean, is it going to be 2 hours long?
See you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Effectively, as in a co-production and co-publishing with such esteemed partners, Koch Media embrace the group. So I'm quite happy.
Awesome.
I mean, the last game is, if it is the last game, it's called Scars Above, and it's going to have about 15 minutes less than every other game on this thing so far.
I'm still. Does anybody know, or can anyone find for me the name of the first game that we saw today? Because I can't remember what it was.
And honestly, I shouldn't have a favorite. It's like picking between a favorite child. However,
if anyone in the chat has it to hand,
on a gaming level,
be the game.
Any other. This third-person
ads.
That is a top-tier comment, by the way. Just going to point that out.
Horrific, nightmarish creatures.
Nightmare creatures.
Alice in Wonderland meets Alien, or as one US.
Alice in Wonderland meets Alien.
Standing.
Did you play the Xbox 360 Alice in Wonderland game? It was great.
Yeah, it was good.
It was very, very good.
Right?
Yeah.
It was the EA one, yeah.
That
was good.
Very, very good.
Exclusive look at Scars.
Ooh, okay, gameplay.
Oh, it's paying shoot.
Dr. Ward, Dr. Yoshida, get to the bridge, please. Time to see what's inside our alien guest.
Yo, G, baby, haven't missed anything.
Oh, no. Where do we start?
Not particularly, mate, no.
Just some very bad puns.
Standard.
Telemetry check.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So is this a third-person No Man's Sky?
Wow.
She said one US journalist called it Tomb Standing. So I'm guessing Tomb Raider / Death Stranding.
How did I end up here?
Space
Stranding. This looks good. This is my type of game. I'm gonna put that out there.
Yeah, this is
log entry.
Seemingly my shit.
The 3 points on the rim seem sensitive.
So we're looking at an RPG here, aren't we? Surely. Health bar. Is that stamina bar?
Stamina bar, yeah. Health bar. It's got some sort of power-ups in the bottom as well, looks like it.
The debris. It's from Hermes. It must have splintered off as it entered the atmosphere.
Vera,
love.
So we're gonna go with sci-fi RPG. I like the look of this. We picked up a gun. This is good.
Here we go. Ooh.
Hello.
This has just got very Dead Spacey.
Yeah. It's also got very Returnal-y as well.
I'm just sat there thinking, this looks a little bit like kind of Returnal, but
isn't that how the HUD is on Returnal as well? It's kind of similar.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is definitely the pick of the bunch what we've seen today.
Yeah, I like the look of this.
I mean, of the 2 games that we've seen actual footage of.
Yes. Big question is, Ben, is any of this write-up from the Koch showcase going to make it onto Next Gen Base's website?
Probably not.
Covered with some kind of organic residue.
Yeah,
I said we've not really had many plans for E3 because we've been on some sort of weird semi-hiatus because everybody's without dragging everything down. Everybody's been in a bit of a weird place because of the fact that the last year has been fucking dreadful.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we're going to be picking things back up a little bit.
Hopefully in time for Gamescom then.
Probably, yeah, and then we'll get to see all the same trailers, just with a German subtitle track.
Yeah.
I'm noticing that every time I say anything slightly like that, Asim just starts to creep.
He's usually making the comments.
Yeah, I'm just making. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I mean, to be fair, like you said, this is the most we've seen of a game today. And
this is good. Actual gameplay.
Yeah, this is again the pick of the bunch. Not that we've had much to choose from.
Who were the architects of this place?
As good as it looks, it also feels like it looks like someone's just made it in the free version of Unreal Engine. You know, when people can make their own games. It feels like the player models very much like it was on King's Bounty, where it was just copy and paste kind of thing. It looks very shiny.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely has a Returnal vibe because you can see that bit where it's like, oh, you know, what did the progenitors do and who built this stuff and things like that. So, but
pretty sure there's also like enemies like that in Returnal.
Yeah. Except with more tentacles.
Yeah, more tentacles. Yeah.
Using different elements to take down an enemy as well. I love that shit.
He's dead.
Hey. Yeah, the weapon wheel is that Ratchet and Clank's weapon selection. The weapon wheel.
Yeah. I mean, there's
Clank's so fucking good.
I can't wait to start that. I can't wait to start that. I was gonna say this looks like it's borrowed a lot from other games, which is no bad thing because you can borrow things from game. You can be, I guess, derivative and like I guess copying, but kind of make it your own at the same time.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's like, as long as you do something with it and it's not just like, you know, here is X meets Y and doesn't really do anything new.
Ad says this looks a lot like Outriders.
Okay.
Interesting.
It wouldn't have been my first comparison to a game anyway. That looks very alien-like.
Yeah.
With the fluid that's freezing the water.
Didn't she say at the start, Aliens meets Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see it.
I mean, yeah.
The Pseudo-Cerebrum seems to be generating an electrical charge.
This story just has to be good though. Like I say, if they're borrowing so many different elements, trying to create an original game, the story has to bang. Otherwise, it's just going to be another sci-fi shooter.
Large amounts of bioelectricity. This gland is secreting cryogenic
detective elements as well to it.
Yeah, it does look very Arkham Asylum, Batman-ish, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This bit good.
Yeah. Just thinking Heavy Rain as well.
Yeah.
That kind of moment there.
Well, I think I'm just going to cut this segment out to put on YouTube and just leave the first hour.
Oh man, if they'd have started with this, we'd have had more energy.
Yeah, this is definitely more like it. This is what it should have been like gameplay.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Oh, nice little cutscene. Evening, Cam. How's it going, mate?
It's boss nass.
These kind of like gameplay things always end with a boss fight, and then you get the title screen coming up. It's like,
coming soon.
Which I'm a sucker for. I love that.
Did you see that title screen in Return?
Yes.
That really was something. And last week, Opal had a chance to talk to the developers, Mad Head Games, and ask them what their game was all about.
Please be a minute.
Yeah, please be a minute long. This Dragon. You've done so well with that.
Serbia is Ivan Zorkic, game director at Mad Head Games, who's going to tell us all about his new project. So, Ivan, What's Scars Above all about?
So is this talking about the game that we've just seen?
Scars Above, well, an alien object appears near Earth, and a team of astronauts is sent to explore
nice
it. To
Pulse
do
headset, Pulse 3D headset in the background, and a chicken of some sort as well.
For some reason that I don't want to go into now, this results in them like in an event which causes them to be transported
Apparently
to an unknown
IGN
alien
has
planet.
game trailers.
So our protagonist, Kate Ward,
Koch
is a
games.
mission specialist. She's
these
an
game trailers?
astrobiologist with a background in engineering. She's one of the members of the team of astronauts, of the team called SCAR
That's it.
team,
Looks
which
good.
is
Yep, I agree.
Sentient Contact
looks
Assessment
alright,
and Response. So she is.
It doesn't
on the
look
ship,
like a
doing
full
the
price
scan,
game,
and
though.
she ends up on this stranded on this.
I think
on this
that's a
alien
mid.
planet.
I think
So
that's
one
a
moment
£30
she's with her
game.
team in the
You-
ship,
you-
and
double A
the other
game
moment
kind
she's
of,
on this
or your
strange
B
planet
game.
alone. So she explores.
I'd be surprised
the
if it comes out and it's 50 quid, put it that
finds
way.
out that
Yeah,
her
I mean,
team
Koch
is
games are
also
never
stranded on
usually
the planet.
full
She
price.
has to find them
They're kind of
first.
like under that mark
And
anyway.
it
So I'm
seems
guessing.
that some time has passed.
Either that or they're
She-
not full price for long.
Yeah.
She doesn't understand why. And also the planet
Hasn't said
is
what
very
platforms it's
hostile,
coming
so
out
there's
for
a
yet, though,
bunch
has
of
it, either?
dangerous creatures,
No.
monsters, and everything seems to want to kill
Is
her
this a 2-hour
and the
stream?
rest of her crew. So she,
I think it
she
might
needs
be now.
to, find
Yeah,
out
we have
what's
gone
going
past
on,
how long
solve
we've
this
been live
mystery.
for, an hour and 8
How
minutes.
did they end up here?
Yeah.
What does this planet want from them? And the story unravels, and she actually learns about the place and learns about the mystery behind it.
I'm predicting
But
the
it's
highlight
all
of this
about, like being
E3 period will be the
stranded
Xbox and
on
Bethesda
this,
conference.
Oh yeah,
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
it feels like it's been built around that.
In a way, strangely beautiful world, and facing a lot of nasty creatures and monsters.
Yeah.
Have you seen one of
Just,
the
like, kinda
rumors for
keeping
the
on that
Ubisoft
theme of
conference?
the
By the
realm
way,
of possibility and whatnot.
No.
How much in the game
Apparently,
has its
Mario
roots in the real
Rabbids
world,
2.
and how much is just playing?
I'll be up for that.
Graham,
I love the first one.
It's mostly sci-fi.
I love the first one. The first one was a really good game.
They're
He
inspired
said
by
there
the
is
real
the
world.
Ubisoft
Real
conference.
world.
I'm fairly certain he'll be pissed himself,
I
sat
think
on
the
his
best
sofa
stories
now,
come from the real world,
furiously
even if
typing
they're,
into the chat. But he said it's not
about,
going to be a
as I said,
conference without at
dragons
least
or
showing
fairy
rabbits.
tales, and of
I mean,
course,
and Just
spaceships
Dance.
and space exploration.
It was.
Like, there's always this.
There'll probably be a Just
component.
Dance, but if
So,
there's a Mario
on one
Rabbids game,
level,
I'm well up
Scars
for that.
Above
The first one
is
was
about
surprisingly good.
reason versus
Mario
terror.
Rabbids was so good.
And this
It's
is
I've
a
never
very
played it.
important topic to
It's
me.
always
And
on
that's
the
a
sale
real
as well.
world topic.
Yeah,
It's
it's
in our
kind of
world,
like
a lot of
your
bad things come out
sort
of
of,
fear. And this
like a
fear,
Fisher-Price XCOM.
gives birth to some unreasonably
It's really
dark
good.
actions,
Actually, not
which
like
lead to more
it's not like
bad
super
things
easy.
and
It's like
more
actually
fear
quite
and
challenging
more
when you get
bad
to like the latter stages
And,
as well.
Yeah,
in
when
a
you
way,
start
Scars
to get
Above
through
is
some of the
like,
levels, it's actually quite
for
difficult.
me, a metaphor for
Could be one of my favorite Switch
reason
games, actually.
standing up against
Yeah,
terror.
it's great.
Yeah.
Love it.
Science against darkness, knowledge against ignorance.
Nintendo will win
apart from
E3
kind of
says
staying
says
within
ads.
sci-fi and obviously
Is that because
kind of
is that because of Zelda?
opening up the possibility that this can actually happen.
I'm interested to
sci-fi
see what
Nintendo
Nintendo
E3
are going
will-
to bring.
Any other important
Yeah, we'll have
technology to
Switch
keep,
Pro,
that
Breath of the
sense
Wild
of
2,
realism
Mario
still
Odyssey
there
2,
in the
Pikmin
game.
4, Smash Last Character, and
There is
MK9.
like yes, there is
Ads
there
is
is a reason to
A9.
keep realism.
As is
I think the better
ITK. I
word
think
is
that
to make it
Mario
believable.
Kart 9. I'm
So,
guessing.
like if
yeah,
you go
yeah.
for absolute realism,
I
you're
think that
kind of limited
might
on
be a little
what
bit
you
too
can tell,
ambitious.
the story you can tell. It kind of is like there is
Yeah.
fiction
they're gonna-
element to the.
Do you think they're going to troll everyone and have like no Switch
You
Pro?
want to make it believable, and the reason
I
why
could
this
see
is
them saving that for
important
something
is
else,
because
if I'm being
I would
honest.
like to create
I
this.
think they will
Yeah.
keep that to a
Apparently-
direct.
I would like it if
Apparently
people
they
actually ask
are,
themselves, like,
that
how
there
did
is
this really
sort of
happen?
more
What would I
talk
do
about them
if
doing
I
some
were
hardware
suddenly
stuff
stranded somewhere on
behind the
this
scenes.
strange, far
So,
away
I don't
Bluetooth
know.
dongle so you can have party
world,
chat.
surrounded with monsters and
Love
terror.
it.
Like if you make this believable, people might actually think more.
I think
about
if you
it.
if
It's
if
not one of those, like, super
oh, that's a very good.
realistic,
That's that I was just
but
about to
you do
say. I
want
think
to
you got
make it
more chance of
believable
seeing
so
Pikmin
that,
4 and
because
something
immersion is
Metroid
really important, so that people
in
get
that.
immersed
Then
in this world and
Breath
start
of the
Yeah,
Wild
Metroid's a
too.
good shout.
what would I do
Metroid's
if
a
I
good
was
shout.
in this
It's been a while
situation,
since they
and,
said anything on that, hasn't it?
What if this was really like? What if this happens someday? What if an alien object does appear near their
Oh,
Earth
excuse
someday
me.
and what would happen.
Absolutely. And then you mentioned the lead protagonist, Kate Ward. You told about her job title. what else about her? You know, like, who is she? Why is she?
Kate is awesome. We love her. So Kate is a very strong and very capable, but also a very caring person. You know, so she's an astronaut. She's a scientist.
Already sounds like Returnal. I'm not gonna lie.
A colleague, an explorer.
Ad says there's a 40-minute E3, then 3-hour Treehouse, Breath of the Wild 2 and Switch are happening.
You know, but one thing she
I mean,
is
I
not
hope he's right.
Yeah,
I mean,
they always do a
she's not
treehouse
a
straight
soldier,
afterwards.
so she's not like a space commando or anything. And
see,
I remember
what he's mentioning seems to be what I'm seeing on Reddit when I've been looking.
For her life.
Is that where he's getting his information from? I don't know. It just feels that feels like the complete show. Do you know what I mean? Like that would rival Xbox and Bethesda's show. And I just don't think Nintendo. They don't usually show too much. Like they don't show their cards, and that would be the greatest show that they will have ever put on. And I can't see them all cramming it into one show.
You know, because I like.
If I'm being honest,
doesn't
And they say also like mostly software.
Fear. So we do want to show this,
and like mostly games coming out 2021.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised to see Zelda,
fighting her emotions, fighting all the stress. That makes her courageous.
Just trying to get some better lighting going on, and I'm not succeeding.
She fights her emotions.
It looks fine.
It's all right.
She's susceptible to panic. Which I think kind of makes her relatable. Like she's not like I'm all out of gum. I'm kicking ass and chewing bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum. That's not her.
We're never going to see one of them again, are we?
Her heart.
Show me some fucking video games.
She trembles. But then, and that's what I really.
I'm pretty sure as this also the guy called Doug Bowser.
She's like really scared. But she like clenches her fist. And the adrenaline kicks in, and she pushes through.
His best friends
no
with
matter
Doug.
the obstacle, and she does it using her mind.
We just
and using
acknowledge
science
the fact
and using
that it's fucking hilarious that Nintendo's CEO is called Doug Bowser.
That's the only reason he's got the job, mate.
So you mentioned
not that he's very, very good at it.
Kate's
It's because of his name.
and that Scar gets sent up.
When he applied for it, his name actually didn't say Doug. It said D Bowser. It's like the Bowser.
The Bowser.
She's a part of
They're like, hi, that's it, you're done. By the way, Italy has scored, just to let you know.
Oh,
he scored.
Commander Robinson.
I have no idea. I just saw this turned over and looked at the score. That's it.
Okay.
I'm guessing someone Italian scored.
I've got it on I've got it on iPlayer and it's still 0-0, so I'm guessing it's coming up shortly.
Yeah, you'll
the rest of the team are mission specialists, because
Ad says I don't use Reddit, I just know Nintendo. Selling it as March 2022 release as the original one was March. He knows Nintendo. Me and Mario go way back.
So by her close friend Tamara, who is
oh, here we go. Is this going to be the
like
goal?
Oh, it's OG. Was it OG?
And
yeah.
Mike,
Oh god, the opening goal of the tournament's an OG.
Who's also like
that sets it nicely, doesn't it?
They're all scientists working together to solve this mystery. But
mate, they all count.
Separated from them, and
all count.
Part of the game is actually uncovering the fate of her
as I was
team members, and
privy to a team scoring an own goal in the first minute the other week.
But Kate obviously cares.
I'm not going to comment on the rest of it.
No, please don't.
And her friends.
Speaking of best feelings that you have, what are you most proud of?
I mean, all our teams didn't show up in the final. There you go.
Thanks for bringing that up again.
Very true answer. I'm most proud of
Blame Ben.
Team. So,
blame these guys.
Is a huge effort.
Want the ref to speak about football instead of video games.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's not that many video games to talk about on this stream.
Just like looking at a group of people working together.
Yeah, this has gone on.
Goal, that's really.
When would we start? This has gone on for 15 minutes now. Talking part of it.
Like when you ask them,
like we have seen 3 video games in the last 40 minutes.
Like one day in the far future.
Of an E3 conference.
That's a shame. I thought they were going to bring it back with that.
But they will always.
Yeah, we're going to see some
pick up the pace.
Games.
That's awesome. And then last question.
What are
the benefits of signing up with a
so
global
what did they
publisher
start
like
on the
Koch
stream
and
at?
being
7,000?
on their brand new
yeah,
publisher?
7,500.
4,300.
Like, having access to certain resources, to experience.
I mean, you'd hope they take that on board in terms of feedback and come back to another show.
There was someone with a pen and paper somewhere just saying, cut that shit, cut that, trim 3 minutes off that, trim 10 minutes off that. There has to be.
But on a personal level.
But like I say, if it's the first one that they've ever done, then the only way you find out is by doing it and then learning from your next one.
and I truly mean this. Like, it's
ads. So the next conference that we're going to be covering is tomorrow, and it is on Asim's channel. It will be ads. The conference starts at 8 PM, and it's a Ubisoft forward conference with Asim, Shogun, and Nico.
Just meeting you guys, like it's a tremendous
Nico,
boost
Di Maria, and the famous thirst tweeter Ash.
You know, I don't want to downplay like the obvious benefits, because
NX is back. Nothing, NX, you missed nothing. Since the gameplay ended, just still been talking.
For me personally, it's just.
Did he see the gameplay, or did he go out for?
Yeah,
he did. Yeah, good.
Yeah, so it's like if you've seen this guy's face already, you've not missed anything.
Yeah. So much for your time.
If you want to roll back 40 minutes, you might be able to catch the gameplay that we've just seen.
Because I know that we have so much fun with it in the
just trying to see what the
thank you very much.
The Twitters the Twitters are saying about this conference.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to people playing.
Encased is next.
I'm really excited about it, and thank you for this talk. Yeah.
And now for something completely different. When Brian Fargo himself, the granddaddy of top-down isometric RPGs, says he is excited about a game, that's gotta mean Prime Matter is getting something right. Encased is an isometric dystopian sci-fi RPG scheduled for release this autumn. And this new trailer, which we're unveiling today, should give you a pretty good flavor of what the game is all about.
It's 1976, and the future has arrived. But here's the skinny. We at Cronus need you. Cronus was formed after a dome-like structure was discovered 5 years ago. Was it from our ancient past? Was it made by aliens?
What's this Fallout shelter?
On perfectly harmless nuclear power.
I mean,
no, it says it's like an isometric RPG.
For you to help unlock its
so it's almost like proper old school Fallout.
Yeah, first Fallout. Yeah. Oh, was it first?
The question is, which wing
it was. Yeah, even that guy in the suit had a Fallout armor.
Taking orders, cracking heads, ultra violence, and guns, lots of guns. Then the Black Wing is for you.
It doesn't look as bad as I thought it was going to when Jeff was talking about it.
Any credit for it? You sound like
an engineer to us. I'm into
Welcome
this.
to the Blue Wing. Are you a doctor, scientist, mathematician?
Probably not the type of game that I'm personally immediately into, but
we've got you covered in the White Wing.
Let's see.
Do you like taking credit for the hard work of others, but never do anything yourself? Those forms won't fill themselves.
Yeah, I just saw the same comment.
And the Silver Wing awaits. Are you
well played, ads. Well played.
Or have no discernible skills whatsoever? Then you're coming to the Orange Wing. Like it or not.
Scam having a laugh.
Ready for adventure?
They have their 3070s are up for $5 grand.
Are you ready to love it so
That's
much
cashing
that
in it.
I
wonder if they're doing what Currys were doing, where if you pre-ordered one, you got the money back.
The second giant leap for mankind.
Oh my!
Under the dome.
We had a raid as well. Tharian Drake. That was really, really small in the corner. Thank you very much, Tharian. Hope you had a fantastic day, buddy.
Check it out.
Let's go to St. Petersburg in Russia and speak to Vyacheslav.
You're just catching us as we seem to be 6 hours into an E3 watch along for Koch and seeing 4 games. Now embrace yourself, strap in, because we're going to be here for another half an hour.
Okay, so it's 21:17 now. Make a note, because this is when they've started talking about this video game.
You know, it's a word.
I'm doing fantastic. How are you? I'm doing fantastic, mate. It's Friday. It's Friday evening in the UK. It's just gone 9:15. The Euros have started today. I don't know if you're into football. Might be soccer over in Canada, but it's happened. It's here. We've been waiting for it for over a year. It's almost as exciting as what we're currently witnessing on this live stream.
Was found somewhere in the last unknown desert.
But again, thank you very much for bringing your raid over, pal.
On our planet.
Legend.
And well, basically, people who get in there, various scientists, technicians, soldiers, and adventurers, they can
say better when they're going to finish talking. And see, this is the thing that spoiled it. I feel like they could have condensed this into a 45-minute show, and it would have been
decent.
Yeah, decent. The perfect word. It would have been a decent show.
Absolutely. Yes. So I know that you guys have been developing this game for kind of a long time.
It feels
now.
like each one's had 15 minutes.
Actually taken to get
there
to
or
the point where
thereabouts.
you are now?
That other game had like half an hour, I'm pretty sure. Which feels like we've been on here for like 10 years. I mean, it's frustrating because I want this to be good. I remember talking to you like off the stream, Bibi. I was like, I hope it's good. I hope it's like some new stuff.
We all do. Yeah. We all wanted it because at the end of the day, we all end up buying these games.
10 years of thinking
but I don't think this is the right way to market your game. This is the stuff that there should be, like Ben said, writing the blogs about, and then posting those onto socials with a video to go alongside it to direct you over to YouTube to get the behind-the-scenes look. Like,
well, we don't,
this isn't gonna,
we have any problems
as horrible as it sounds, sell your video game.
Because for most, if not everyone on the team, this is the dream project.
Jordan says this is the E3 2012 way of selling, of announcing your game.
That's fine.
Agree, we've evolved so much, especially over the last 12 to 18 months. We've evolved so much.
And we're really open with the community.
I mean, E3 used to be back in that time that NX is mentioning for like business. So there's a lot of talking, but as you said, Bibi, it's evolved into a consumer-based show, which is good, which is the way things should evolve. You're selling these games eventually to the consumer. So it should be consumer focused. There should be a thought about when you're doing these type of shows, what the consumer wants to see. And I feel like they've missed the mark, sadly, as it pains me to say it.
Some extra time we'll spend on.
NX has ordered this command, though. I think that's the highlight of the stream, isn't it?
If I put my postcode in the chat, and will somebody be able to just eat me something?
And then kind of bringing it back to the game, given how
it's like putting the pub and the table that you're in when you're at Spoons.
Spoons, yeah.
You put it on Twitter and you just get like a single pea on a plate and a glass of milk delivered to you.
Years and years ago, are you now with the game that you have currently?
The overall concept, we managed to keep it
like,
alive.
There's a reason that people like Jeff Keighley host these shows, because they're quite charismatic, and without meaning to be really harsh on the developers,
which is inspired
by
many golden classics of late 90s
enthusiastic and engaging of people.
And in that
that's why they don't sit in front of the camera for all that reason, though, do they? These are the boffins that are sat in an office creating fantastic content for us.
Mechanics, abilities.
I'm aware of the irony of me saying that, by the way.
Little things which these RPGs are built from.
Jordan's giving us a downright dirty comments in the chat saying chicken shawarma, chicken tikka and doner with extra onion.
Technology changed and
what sauce are we talking? Are we talking hot chili? Are we talking garlic mayo? Are we talking...
I mean, this is...
I know.
I mean, we should be on Pornhub now, shouldn't we?
Really? Or maybe art style.
Garlic mayo.
Maybe
Man after mayo.
And themes we.
Garlic mayo is the one. If you order a kebab, you cannot have. You can't not have garlic mayo.
The process because making
holy shit.
RPGs.
Inix has just sent me a message on Twitter
and takes many.
And yes, overclockers do indeed have a gigabyte RTX 3070 for £5,000.
They're cashing in, aren't they? It's like CEX within PlayStation 5s.
Concept, the very heart of it's all in there.
If I was a scumbag, I've got about 10 grand's worth of stuff that I could immediately sell in my within my reach.
Are you trying to sell your Etsy store again, mate?
Starts as an employee of this Cronus.
You can have a plug if you want.
It's the only organization that controls entire dome research and studying.
Someone clip that. Someone clip that.
5 departments which are called wings.
The camera even zoomed out to accommodate
which affects the game a lot and the story of the game. This is the black wing, which are the security.
This is what it's come to. I can't believe this.
The white wing, which are.
I didn't know. The thing is,
and
still 1-0. I love video games, and literally, we all love video games.
Are the management and ruling of the dome of the Cronus. They're blue wing, which are
if you're allowing me to plug stuff,
and there is this.
Yeah, absolutely, go for it because that is fucking dynamite.
You too can own a PlayStation Platinum trophy.
Stick it in the chat. If you've got it to hand, stick it in the chat.
To do various manual labor.
Xbox One
collection of all of the trophies.
You also do Xbox as well, don't you?
What prompted
Yeah,
you to pick
do
that
Xbox
specific
custom
time
achievements, but I don't have one of those handy.
If you've got your store handy, stick it in the chat, because I already know as soon as you do, Jordan is going to be a customer of yours.
He'll be all over the Xbox One.
Absolutely.
Last tick on the timeline.
Oh, it's 2-0 Italy.
While there were some blind spots on the planet.
I think it's a mobile.
People in space,
maybe that's not the link.
It's all happened in late 50s.
Let me get the actual link.
60s, right?
It's happening, yeah, Immobile.
There we go.
Is the last
Immobile, great style. I think I'd had him in a sweepstake. He wanted it to be in the first. Him to score any time.
This complete web surrounding the Earth and the planet, and there are some blind spots.
So if you are looking to get your own PlayStation trophy, 3D printed materials, including obviously the Xbox achievement ones as well, as seen on screen and shown by Ben Ward, then feel free to go over to his Etsy store and grab yourself one.
Going further to the space,
I made myself a massive platinum trophy as well because I got really bored.
Into the dome to,
why not?
What during the show? Or
do those scientific researches and do those miraculous discoveries, basically.
Yeah, so you mentioned
I want
that
a
this is kind of
100G
like
one saying survive the Halo Infinite check.
How far did you deviate?
I reckon you'd make a cool mint out of that one, mate.
Happened in the 70s.
There is an untapped market there.
Game. I guess it's
the second goal has just been scored on iPlayer, so that gives you an idea how high I am.
The topic would be obviously that instead of continuing the Cold War, the West and the East.
They've been going on at the moment for, was it 17, you said?
They instead
almost coming up to 10 minutes.
Ideas of like internationalism and exploring the dome together and forming that super corporation Cronus.
So, how was the first press conference of E3 2021? Well, I plugged my fucking Etsy shop.
That explores the dome, controls.
You gotta get that bank somewhere, mate. Secure the bag.
And controls the flow of like artifacts.
They're reasonably
and
priced.
Scientific researches, which comes from the dome.
Please tell me that someone's left that comment and that's not just from the horse's mouth.
When I first posted it to a few places, somebody legitimately messaged me and said, "What the fuck are you doing? They should be double the price."
Obviously, you guys are based in Russia, and life in the 70s was very different than life was in the West.
Do you take requests as well?
How much of that do you think translates to
maybe
international audience once we get
if the
out
price
there?
is right, wink, wink.
Yeah,
people won't understand.
Yeah, depending on what they are. I've done a
no
few
one
like
kind
custom.
Of really lived the early era,
custom
no
things,
really
which is
knew
good.
What was happening.
Honestly, why are we talking about this when there's a fucking press conference going on?
Again, I feel so guilty and I feel so bad. But I'm bored.
Struggles, political and other struggles.
Like, show me the trailer again. I'll watch the same trailer again that you just showed me. Just rewind it. Chuck that on. Again, I feel so bad.
What's going to finish first? This guy talking or the Turkey-Italy game?
Or Euro 2021.
Euro 2021 itself, yeah.
To explore the dome is dangerous.
Oh, I said to Samantha, said to the wife, I said, I don't think they've got much to show, so I don't know how long it's going to be. It might even be like half an hour, 40 minutes. Never in my life did I think it was going to be at least an hour and a half.
What games?
I think it's 2
given
hours.
that they've said they've got 12 games and they've currently spent about 15 minutes on each.
What do you and the team like as well when it comes to
they can't, surely.
We are here all the hardcore
because that would be
fans,
3 hours.
So it's not secret why we I suppose picked up a
I mean,
there's nothing else
there was
a
purple dildo.
And it's not
I wish there was a purple dildo from
the
Saints Row.
game is it's in a very hard way was inspired by the
quote of the
Fallout
night. I wish there was a purple dildo.
Other great RPG games.
Access it 3 hours. Is it 3 hours?
Oh, I better not fucking be.
Right. I'm just going to go to our chat.
What was the hardest part of making the game for you guys?
I think the easier question would be what was the easy part. I can't really come with much things which were easy. It's all it's an everyday struggle.
Did they confirm that?
It's a marathon.
I was just having a look at the schedule, but it doesn't even have Fridays on there.
And it's a happy everyday struggle, basically, for us.
Absolutely. And then moving it into that more positive thing, the happy marathon. What are you most proud of when it comes to Incast?
I'm obviously proud of both the team and the project itself.
Looks like 4 games left.
Both us here in the team and our community, we often forget that 3.5 years ago there was nothing.
Unless
there
they cut
emptiness,
games.
Nothing existed.
Jordan says, from a new studio, literally ordered mega rare Final Fantasy VII, 1997 gold phone cards with character dog tags, and a guy sold them to me for 30 quid, and they are worth 500. Fucking hell, that's a steal.
Great universe, a curious world which is almost ready.
Especially for a Final Fantasy nerd like you, mate. You've had an absolute steal there.
Inside, basically.
And then moving on to the last question, what are the benefits of signing up with a global publisher like Koch Media and being on their new label?
So we think that signing with a partner as Koch Media is really great, because it not only benefits us as developers, but such partnership also benefits our community, our players.
There is no way this is going to be 3 hours long, surely.
More time to work on the project and polish it. So
I don't know anymore.
While
what is time?
I don't know anymore.
More localizations, which will make
Echoes of the End. We've got another game coming up.
To the wider audience.
Echoes of the End of our lives.
Voiceover done. Which just make the game better and bring it on some other higher level.
From an isometric dystopian sci-fi RPG to our next title, which is a fresh take on the action-adventure genre. This team, all the way from Iceland, specifically built a mocap studio for this title and has the incredible talent Aldous Hamilton as their lead protagonist. I got to sit down with the guys.
Oh, please show us the game.
What is this game all about?
So Echoes of the End is a cinematic narrative-driven action-adventure game about Rin.
Sorry, I need to try and stay as
trained all her life to be a warrior in service to a throne,
professional
and is now searching
positive as I can, but
as she's
I'm missing an international football match for this.
It's a game we wanted to...
I say I'm missing it. I've got it in a smaller window, but even so.
And for us, what we really wanted to explore was a marriage of a cinematic experience and the narrative,
you're not going to miss anything, mate.
Storytelling of RPGs.
Yeah, don't burst your bladder for this.
Finding that bridge and union is what really inspired us to go and make our own video game.
I mean, I also could do with
such a big integral part of the experience is how
for a
you
quick
as a
player
pee.
choose to interact
Will
with
camera follow you there?
The characters that you'll run into when
they said that they built an entire mocap studio for this. That is obviously a hell of an expense.
That you'll be facing as a player.
What was the inspiration?
So somebody's saying apparently IGN on Twitch are actually showing video games.
A relatively small team.
I don't think they're like
such an ambitious vision.
massive like reveals or anything like that. I think some of it they're also like interviewing devs as well.
You know, there have been some really great games
from what stuff came out yesterday's.
Paving the way for this as the tools and hardware and software get
so theirs isn't just about Koch, it's like an
no, it's just like a,
in the
yeah,
days
kind of
multi
IP, multi-brand,
might be possible. And it seemed unreal to us that it might be at the time.
I'm going to have to disappear for a moment while I drain the signal stick.
Go
saw that this was in fact possible, and it's an absolute dream for everyone at the company to be privileged enough to.
He did put the flap down. What a legend!
Really shape.
I need one of them things on here because I just think sometimes, you know, if I'm sat here, no t-shirt, I'm playing games, like, I don't think it's attractive. But you never know, do you? Like, am I getting caught out if I left the stream on? Is Graham going to text me saying, "Bibby, what are you playing at?"
So it's
that would be amazing, though. I mean, not for you, probably.
I mean, I wouldn't care, to be fair. I was just no shame of that shit anyway.
Make
but
some changes, of course, as the vision evolved and as we understood better kind of what.
I mean, at this stage, I think that would be more exciting if you take a shirt off.
To fit a team.
I'd be more worried if I got more views for that than I did actually trying to present something like the Scoop that a lot of hard work goes into. But me sat there with Dorito dust all over the top of my chest. If that gets more views, then I'm packing the journalism game in, and I'm getting an OnlyFans, baby.
Get that hot tub, mate.
Next gen development engines, next gen game engines.
IGN are just recapping yesterday.
In place for us to make the game. I think the primary things that have changed in the making of the game are more in the details of the execution of that, how we structure the story, what kind of game mechanics we want in a game like that, and really what the identity.
I mean, so far they've been live for an hour and 36 minutes.
Have been making this
We've seen probably in that hour and 36 minutes, probably, if I'm being nice, about 10 minutes of like gameplay or
way less than that. Way less than that.
Yeah, like I said,
I'm
I was
talking
being
like 4 or 5 minutes. You're being too nice there.
Everyone knows the like picturesque scenery of Iceland. Do you get much inspiration from your homeland and the environment?
Yes.
You ready for the crack
soon? You know, Iceland is such a phenomenal place to live in, and
it's so cool.
Beautiful country that's been featured in many films and video games before us.
Going for a tug. Jesus Christ.
The funny thing is that us growing up in Iceland, this is normalcy for us.
Oh,
this is what we've been used to. It isn't until we visit other countries that we realize that the rest of the world isn't a fantasy land.
Oh my God, trees.
Yes. So, but yeah, I mean, it's absolutely inspired by Iceland. And, I was working as a tour guide for the longest time, and a lot of us grew up in the country from different locations. And we pulled from those locations.
They are pretty
cool.
cool.
Some of them, we have nearly one-to-one replicas of them, in the game.
What Jordan's just said.
Isn't based in Iceland, of course. We're just taking inspiration from the more fantasy
pretty cool
level vistas and visuals.
How did you get them for 30 quid?
While we love Iceland, and while we'd be fools not to utilize the access we have to Icelandic natural phenomena.
What's the biggest video gaming bargain you've ever gotten, then?
We don't want to make a game about
bargain.
It's something that's been done a lot, and we really want to make a unique IP that is ours, and that no one has seen before.
Yeah,
getting PES 2 for 50p from CEX.
And you mentioned the main character at the very start.
Nice.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Bargain. Do you know what? I know you can't see them, but those of you that have been in here, these 2 Resident Evil posters that I've got behind me are probably my biggest bargain that I've got. I got both of those for around 15 quid, and they are some of my favourite artwork that I've probably ever owned.
They are mint, to be fair.
I love them. Yeah.
So that's probably the best bargain that I've got. Not in the video game world, not in terms of video games, but in the video game world, it's probably my favourite thing.
The juxtaposition between purpose and
I think my highlight was finding Twin Snakes in a second-hand shop for 20 quid.
Yeah,
price a bit of kit that as well, isn't it?
Her own choosing,
yeah, Twin Snakes is like gold dust.
She has inherent to her birth and very existence.
I don't know. I can't think. Probably something Metal Gear. The Snake Eater premium pack. Have you seen that? Yeah. I got that from Japan, really dirt cheap. I think it was literally like 10, 15 quid, where it's worth way more than that.
Wow!
Yeah. I was there with Gary in that shop. There was one left, I remember that. And the guy, it was priced a bit higher, because I bought loads of stuff with it. He gave me a discount.
I mean, it's in the nicest possible way, but fuck you.
And it takes pride of place on my shelf at the top.
So it should as well.
Love that.
I think that's
so what you're trying to say is if you have to get super discounts like that, you have to go directly to the source.
Yeah. I mean, in Japan, they're not really big on collecting stuff like that. So you'll go to shops like that, like we see in Japan, you'll find stuff and you'll be like, wait a minute, this is supposed to be like 300 quid, and it's like 20 quid.
It costs you 300 quid to bring it back.
Luckily, I took an extra suitcase with me, so I managed to bring all my stuff back, which was nice.
Jordan said in the chat, getting Unreal Tournament 99, Quake 1, 2, and Unreal Gold fully box sealed in a car boot sale for £1 each.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah.
I
want Sega Saturn.
Zelda. Yeah, that's
pretty. At a car boot sale. Walked around the first time, and there was like a guy he had a Sega Saturn sat in the bottom of this box. I was like, how much do you want for that, mate? He went, tenner. So
Such an awesome character.
Maybe, all right, I'll pop back in a
What's
bit.
the hardest
So,
part
like,
of game
about 3 hours later,
development
the
so
Koch
far?
was
I
just
know you
wrapping
guys
up,
are
and he was
still
still there with
in
it. I said, "Oh,
development,
what do you want for it?"
but
And I'll
what's
just give
been
us
the
2
most
quid, and it's
challenging?
yours. Oh,
Most
3-0.
challenging part of game development.
Yeah,
I think that's a
Insignia
different
scored.
answer for every team.
Yes, I think that's a different answer.
So yeah, I got a stick of that.
Did it have the wires?
A different answer for every team member.
It had one of
depending
them.
on
Didn't have a
different,
power cable.
Perspective that they have
But
into the game development.
I think that's just a
for
standard
us,
figure
you
eight.
know,
I was about to
it's
say, yeah,
very
is it one of the
important
common
to find
ones?
the right people to work on the game.
It wasn't like the N64 where it was a giant battery pack that goes in the back of it.
Yeah, the back thing went in the back of it, yeah.
You know, really passionate about making games like this.
IGN Expo just showed more in 30 minutes than Koch did in 100.
Exceptionally talented.
Yeah, I think IGN are recapping a lot of yesterday's stuff.
Yeah, it sounds a bit like it.
Yeah. Often, from the outset, it's an invisible part of game development, but it's absolutely essential and extremely difficult.
Yeah, so you kind of mentioned before that you know, Iceland's quite small.
Tell you what, she had a day of it though, hadn't she, Opal? She's had a day of it. She would have had to sit there and have all these interviews back to back throughout their entire day to be able to put this together.
So, as usual, Iceland is excellent per capita.
This is, I mean,
at everything per capita.
This is stuff you put on like post stream. Yeah, I think, rather than like mainstream.
It's not really a useful metric when you look at the fact that
has anyone watching on YouTube? Has anyone got the numbers?
Fishermen, Fishertown.
That would find them.
But you know, Iceland is completely unique.
Because let's face it, I'm not missing anything if I switch over to another tab.
Well-known developer in Iceland kind of paved the way for all the other game developers here that are now thriving.
Pray to the gaming gods. Ubisoft is
educational infrastructure.
Oh, Ubisoft's will be slick.
All the different fields of game development here in Iceland. So we have exceptional talent coming.
There you go. You got a sale, Ben.
And so I think, you know, considering the size, we have great access.
Why don't you make it live on stream for us? That'd be more exciting.
A lot of Icelanders who got into
I think you should do that. Make it live on stream.
Why don't you stream it? That would be so sick.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I mean, not on this stream, but just in general.
What? Just stream the 3D printing?
Yeah, the making of it. Yeah.
Mate, people stream really like rain going on outside. Do you know what I mean?
Is it the way that this one works? It's like it's just got like a vat of liquid, and then the plate goes up and down.
Each year, graduating new students.
The thing is, like you making it, and then like talking through the process, and then talking during what it's making, it will probably be more exciting than this. Let's be honest.
Another per capita is that, you know,
how long does it take to create? Is it like 4 or 5 hours?
People in Iceland who play games.
So depending on what it is, like I can put like a tray of the trophies. I can do like a bunch of trophies together, and then that takes about like 3 hours. But then it's the post stuff is like the painting and the finishing. That's the bit that takes the longest.
Because there's so many things. I mean,
but because it's all done on,
it takes
because it's all done on like tall on height rather.
To do so many
so
things
if you,
for it to go correctly.
Oh, I got the 50 quid's worth. Let's go.
So
drinks on Ben tonight.
Hey,
fucking hell, man. I think what we're most proud of is
you're a busy weekend. You're like, fuck, I've got to work over the weekend now.
I get at least £10 commission for promoting that.
Yeah,
I mean, to be fair, you give me some. So.
Affiliate.
Thank you very much, Jordan. I will get those done and sorted.
And then,
but yeah, he has indeed got 100G survived the Halo Infinite Showcase 2020.
Yeah, amazing.
Love that. Part of their brand new label.
But yeah, you need to be taking pictures of that shit and then post it on social media, and you'll just
get
your marketing game up. Come on, man. Come on.
I know a company that can do your social media for you if you really need to.
There you go. There you go.
Need to earn a bit more before I can afford the big boys.
That's been the most difficult, and that's building the team and the things that we're most proud of, which is again the team that we built. And for us,
you don't have to order me one, Jordan. Don't worry about it, mate. It's
to the team.
Do not worry about that.
You know, it's a publisher full of great people.
Appreciate the love, though, brother.
About games. And they're empowering
I'm looking after
Bibby.
Deliver these games,
worldwide.
I think I'm going to go and get myself a drink in a minute. Get some water or something.
Oh
no, the last Oricus. Is it? I can't see because it's half been chopped off.
And we are
Oricru.
You guys, thank you so much for your time.
I'm not going anywhere.
And I cannot wait to give people more information.
And no trailer for that game as well, by the way.
From one side of the globe all the way to the other. If you like the game Gothic and hardcore RPG,
please don't see you just talking to the dev. Show the game. No.
I had to sit down with 2 of the guys from Gold Knights.
No, show the game.
Them and their new game. Hello there, guys. Today I am
How have
joined
they
by
misjudged
Golden
this
Knight
badly?
creative and game director Pavel
Yeah.
Shimad and executive producer Vladimir Gershel to
Thing
talk
is,
about
if you're,
the game, The
I
Last
get the
Oracle.
excitement to talk about the game, 100%.
So you guys make The Last
If you're
Oracle.
not going to show it,
What is the game about?
then you shouldn't really have it as part of the show.
From different perspective of living and breathing war.
So when you guys say living and breathing, what do you mean exactly?
Jordan said he's got bare dough. Get yourself one of them RTX cards then. You make a profit off them.
I've got bare dough. Mate, talk to me. We'll do something custom.
Yeah, Ben will take all the orders.
Actually, I'll show you some of the shit I've made because I'm really fucking chuffed with some of these.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that
I'll tell you what, I'll swap you out. I'll put this in the small screen and stick you on the big one.
Yeah, let's do it. Big Ben.
So the idea of the game is to show the player.
Look at those shorts as well. Fucking legend.
Of the winners, but also the misery of the
I can't hear a word you've just said, but I imagine it's probably quite disparaging.
I said you're a lovely man.
All the in the war.
So you mentioned that you make choices during The Last Oracle.
That's a Final Fantasy fan.
Jordan is going to lose his shit.
The one who decides which side will win the war. But there are many different.
Oh my god.
Through the game,
yeah,
and you can experience the whole.
And then
game
I also
multiple playthroughs.
The little Spidey.
That's his class.
That's
lovely.
That's lovely.
That is class. You know, you see, Ben knows what he's doing, is it? Oh, look what I've made. It's one of the proudest things I've made. Yeah.
Made a 50 quid order. Let's just show you we lost Final Fantasy. Let's put that out there.
Got a little cart as well.
That is class. They are mint.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I was well
Each
happy with
player
them.
can define their own
But
path,
you mean ODST, so
decide
if I
with
can
different
find a way to
influence the future of each race and in the end the entire planet.
Yeah, I made this is one I made earlier.
It's not done,
I very nearly said something that I may immediately regret. I was going to say ask him get your Batman out, but
oh no, don't do that. I mean, I could get you the Batman. I could show you the Batman that Ben sent me. I think people have seen it though.
No Zelda, no sale, says ads.
No Zelda. Ah, there you go. You would have had a sale from ads.
And you can
If you had
obviously
anything
refuse
Zelda.
doing that, but if you decide to kill him, there are many
The Ocarina,
of,
maybe?
what you can do with his head, which serves as
I don't know
a
if you
proof
guys
of
know,
his
but
death.
Final Fantasy
You
Master
can
fan
keep
tattoos,
it
and
and
last week
become
got
hero,
ODST
or you
helmets on my
can
arm.
give it to the queen and come closer to her heart.
Get your helmet out for the lads.
Or you can
I was-
give it to another character.
I was going to say I've got ODST on my helmet, but that's something entirely
with
different.
different outcomes.
While I'm playing,
Oh
guys,
no. This is what this.
mischievous and kind of go down the route of everyone hating me. What does that mean?
You've just lost the words.
Yes, there is an option that you will.
I mean, we're not
as much
even
harm
talking
to
about
do as
games
many things as
anymore.
possible, and there are some dark characters that will be pleased by that. However, cooperation with them may be.
I love
very
video
very
games.
painful for you.
I love
That's
video
another
games.
interesting.
I just
thing,
remind
because
myself that.
there is some hidden party involved in many wars, which profits from both sides of the conflict and the conflict itself. So that's a bit of the hidden part in the game, which you can play, but it will be a little bit difficult to play.
So the game has co-op.
Yes, that's what
Can
co-op
friends help
means.
with the boss battles? Can we play the whole entire game together?
Jesus
How does
Christ.
this work?
You know those
You know what?
games when you play
It would be
games,
better
which
if they were
are
talking over
exciting, but you
something
feel
as
a bit
well.
sad
I mean,
you
I'm just giving them
can't
tips at
share
this
it with
point.
anyone. That was generally the idea.
Yeah. There is a great demand for couch play in the whole third-person action RPG genre.
But
So we are
you see,
sure
this is
that
what it
for
comes
our
down
future
to again.
audience,
I
the
mentioned it at the
co-op is
beginning. I'm
going to
happy that
be
they set
one
the
of the
stall out
most,
to say this is what we're not going to
or
be
the
showing.
key features
But
of
they're
the
also
game.
not showing
And that's
anything
why we
else.
went even farther.
They're just talking about it. You might as well just talk about the games that you said that you wasn't going to show, because they're IPs that people actually. And again, no disrespect, but they're the ones that probably people want to see more than most of the games that we've seen tonight.
But, you know,
So
at the
what
end
was
of the day,
it's
combat is bread and
yeah,
butter of
it's
an RPG.
it's unfortunate
So
that
if you,
we
for
get to
example,
this
play as a
point
melee
where
tank,
we are
while the second
an
player
hour and
plays a magic
46 minutes,
support,
not
you
an
have
hour and
very
49
tens
minutes
of
into
hours
this show,
of
like us going
Oh,
live.
wait, so you're telling me there's magic
And we've seen
and melee?
4 game
What does
trailers,
this mean for the combat of the
which
game?
were about 5 minutes
Well,
long.
the combat is targeted at more experienced players. I'm very much on the wave of recent challenging RPGs that are based on the skills of the player turning on stamina.
I don't know, like
some interesting magic mechanism in the game
Yeah.
that would let you use some.
They
more
just
than
misjudged
block
it
attack buttons.
horribly.
But don't forget that our
Like,
world has sci-fi.
As Asim said earlier, I get
can be for more
that people are excited to see, to talk about the games, and it's rare that they get opportunities like this.
And finally, guys, I just want to ask you, what does it mean to be under Koch
up to E3 saying we've got a brand new, we've got a brand new publisher and we've got a brand new presentation, or a brand new slots to fill with a show,
helping us to make better games.
And then kind of doing this.
Yeah, I'm very pleased that I could use my long-standing experience with big publishing houses and restructure the game and the team to shape.
And I think, like, the thing is with some of them,
strong partner as a
like you said, Bibby, we've not even seen gameplay. We've just literally seen talking.
And aiming at building a really memorable new game franchise. And being part of the
portfolio. Here we go, Payday 3. Now we're talking. This is what we want.
To fully achieve it.
Gameplay, please.
Thank you so much, Pavel and Vladimir.
And also, if anyone can clip like the last 2 minutes and just play the sound of silence as it zooms in on Asim's face, that would be great. Because it was just sat there, just staring.
Our friends at Starbreeze to talk about Payday 2,
nothing else to do.
Payday 3, and their upcoming cooperation with Prime Matter.
Thank you, Jeff, and hi, everyone. We're excited.
Okay, he seems excited. Okay, I like this. Come on. Come on.
This is the energy that we want.
Come on. Come on.
At Starbreeze, we see Payday as the ultimate
bank
robbery
some gameplay.
Inspired by classic heist movies, providing adrenaline-fueled gameplay where you get to experience the thrill of being on the wrong side of the law with a smart plan and a gun in your hand. This is what we've been doing since the original game, Payday the
Heist, old footage.
Through the sequel, Payday 2, to the upcoming Payday 3, and our ever-growing player community. Our
looks like Guilfoyle from Silicon Valley.
An inspiration for us
a really
we do.
buffed up version.
Yeah.
Here we go. Wait, shit, am I going to get DMCA'd for this or what? Do I have to mute this?
Oh, keep talking, keep talking.
The world my stuff is an exaggerated reflection of reality where order is kept by the long arm of the law.
I think a Payday stream for us would be a good stream,
Chaos, giving the law
Payday's great.
It is so much fun.
Adrenaline truly kicks in, and the outnumbered gang keeps beating the odds.
Did they make it free to play in the
end?
I don't think so.
The Payday universe has
they definitely didn't on Switch because it was a £40 game when that came out on the Switch.
Yeah, I know they've done a lot on PC, but I can't remember if they actually made it free to play.
Heist plans and going up against some of the most powerful of enemies. And through all of this, the gang keeps coming out on top. In their exploits, the gang has become, as they call it, the tightest crew ever. The wider criminal underworld
this is
lives its own
this
life,
is the
where
part
movers and shakers
that should have been through the whole thing, talking over the top of what you're showing.
Just about to say, this is what a developer talks about game thing should be. It's like, right, this is a mechanic, this shows the mechanic, this is, how fun it is, that's kind of it. But
yes.
Live,
this looks mustard.
Ooh. Was that Ron Perlman and John
Yes.
It was indeed. Expanding on this epic story, taking you all with us into the future of Payday. Many millions of players have enjoyed Payday so far. It's been an amazing journey for us at Starbreeze. On Steam, Payday 2 has the biggest player
I didn't know.
I didn't know that.
It's truly.
I knew it was big, but I didn't realise it was that
Payday
big.
10 this year, but we're only getting started.
I was gonna say something then, but this is no.
Was it about your penis?
No, I'm not gonna. No, not gonna go down
Payday
that.
2 on Xbox 360. It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Payday, fellas. The release of Payday 3 is years away, but we could
There you
finish
go.
off
This is
today
how you
with a
do
sneak
it.
peek
This is
of
how you
what
do
we're
it.
working on.
Yeah.
A taste of things to come.
More DLC.
Just a sneak peek. Okay, fair enough.
Well, there you have it. Quite a lineup. And Opal, I know we're going to be hearing much more from Prime Matter in the weeks and months ahead, right?
That's a great question, Jeff. Prime Matter will be taking a huge leap into the streaming.
They'll be in the just chatting section on Twitch.
From June 14th, we'll be streaming 3 times a week, every week.
Sorry, that was harsh.
Gameplay content,
accurate
achievement and trophy hunting streams, as well as Dungeons and Dragons in our own universes.
Oh, I was joking. They actually said they're doing a cooking stream.
Yeah, and Dungeons and Dragons.
So that you guys get to know our developers better. Not
oh God,
that,
we've seen enough.
To see a lot more shows from us in the future, and Jeff can help us out too.
Absolutely, I cannot wait to see what Prime Matter has for us in the future. Thanks for announcing.
It was a 2-hour show, wasn't it?
Summer Game Fest, and
I
look forward to being back with you again later this summer.
No worries, Jeff, and thank you for your time. It's been awesome hosting with you, and I can't.
She's done a good job, our Opal.
And a thanks to you guys watching.
She's made the best of a difficult situation for what she was given.
Titles that we've shown you today. We are focusing on making fun, unique, and honest content for you guys. So, stay safe, stay cool.
Stay safe, stay cool. And I'm sure there's another thing that they could say that starts with stay, but
I mean, she's taken the end of my segment.
Can't think what it would be.
But I mean, you're probably going to hear it anytime soon. But yeah, that looks like it's the end of the stream, with the stream over being placed onto the stream. So to begin to wrap this up, guys, we've spent the last 2 hours with each other. We've laughed, we've cried, we've been bored.
Made 50 quid.
Ben's made 50 quid. We've had the lads in the chat, Jordan, Camaldino's been in there as well, Ads has been in there, Graham's been in there. We've had people in and out of the chat throughout the entirety of the stream. Very much appreciate you guys for joining us. But Asim, Ben, what do you think of the show then? This is obviously our first E3 show that we've covered. We will be doing this for the next 5 days, but is this the kind of show that you wanted to kickstart our E3 coverage along with out of 10? Or in as many words or as few as you want to put down, what do you think about the show in general?
Let Ben go first.
Oh, cheers. I don't want to be too harsh. It is the first time that Koch have done an E3 stream. And I mean, it's just unfortunate. I think they've misjudged it. I think, as Asim said, it's nice to see devs get to talk about the work instead of just kind of, here's a trailer and there's no faces behind it. I enjoy seeing some of the behind the scenes things. But yeah, I think the way that the Payday one was done, that's how you do it. As we said sort of at the end, it's like you have that bang, bang, bang. This is my game. These are the bits that we're doing with it. Intersperse it with bits of gameplay. Job done.
Yeah.
But having 20-minute interviews with people that aren't necessarily the most engaging people in the world,
we don't know who they are as well. We have no idea who these people are. It's not as if they are the faces of the company or people that you would see on Twitter engaging with people and not necessarily being the face, but people knowing who they are and aware of what they do. These people are they're average Joes. We have no idea who they were. So I agree with that.
I mean, sometimes I think sometimes that's what you need to see as well. I kind of agree that it's nice to have developer X talking about game Y or whatever, not necessarily without the immediate people that come to mind. You have like Vince Zampella at Respawn, you have like Randy Pitchford at Gearbox, you have those kinds of people that when they're talking about their game, that they will be front and center.
Yeah.
And I quite like the idea of having somebody maybe a bit lower down the pecking order talking about stuff, but then you don't have a 20-minute interview with them. You have a quick couple of minutes to say, right, cool, how are you finding the game, how are you finding working on it, how are you finding XYZ. Okay, sweet, here's some gameplay, move on. But yeah, 20 minutes with one person talking about things when he's looking like he's slowly falling down his chair is probably not the best way of doing it, unfortunately.
Well, I'm going to ask you a different question, Asim. Do you think then that what we've seen from the Payday advert teaser / interview, do you think that was the best because they have the most experience in creating those little short segments. Because don't forget, Opal wasn't even in that, so there was no conversation between them. It was just their staff members talking in front of a camera, giving you exactly what you need whilst having the trailers running in the background. Do you think Payday have been around for so long, they know what they're doing with their marketing resources?
Yeah, Starbreeze are a well-known studio. They've been doing this for a while. They've had other games that have been hits and released in the past, so they clearly know which people to put front and center. Keep it short and sweet. Mix it up with some gameplay. That segment, you could tell it was pre-recorded.
Yeah.
And they probably did it on their own terms, and then sent it to like Koch to be part of this show. You could tell. And the other parts were like that as well, but you could tell it was slightly less experienced guys and girls who are probably not used to that kind of situation. Or this kind of like I guess stream or conference, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I mean, more of that would have been good, as we all said. Hopefully, just to sum up, I mean, hopefully they learn from it. Like I said, I don't want to be harsh as well. Like to keep things positives. Hopefully they learn from it and they come back, because Koch do have a good lineup of games, like, you know, a lot of games that weren't part of this show. To talk about in the future. So hopefully they learn from it, come back and show those games off in the light that the consumers want to see them, basically. Yeah, I mean, things can only get better, right? So let's see tomorrow.
So I've got one final question that I'm going to ask you both. After half an hour of this show, I mentioned to you that I feel like the games, that they had to make up time. We only thought it was an hour at the time, but we thought we had to they had to make up the time by waffling on with the developers and things like that to try and boost out that hour. That hour then turned into 2 hours. Do you think then that because they had to potentially pull games, that they have either had to extend the interviews out and prolong them to make up the 2 hours, or not?
It seems like they. Obviously, they set expectations beforehand. It seems like they were set on doing this show, and then rather than having a framework of like, we want to do this, and this, like this, and this, they just had we want to do a show. We need to fill it with something.
Yeah,
that's what it seemed like, rather than having like a properly planned out for the consumers show. It seemed like that. That's what it seemed like to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was. I think I said during it, it seemed like it was a bit more business focused, particularly when they're talking about, you know, how does it? They asked every developer the same question. You know, how do you feel about becoming part of the Koch family? It's like, well, you don't need to ask that question when you're kind of in an E3 presentation.
Yeah, the consumer doesn't care about that. It seemed more like a shop window to sell their new publishing label.
Yeah, the devs wouldn't have been asked about it though, because they would have just been told what to say. I feel like, because they wouldn't have been asked. They're trying to build a game. Why are they asked how it gets sent out? Like they'll be asked if people enjoy it, but ultimately when they're creating it, they're not asked about how it. That's not for them to worry about. So they would have been given that in the meantime. But I personally feel like there was a lot more games to be shown. We got told beforehand that it wasn't there. Therefore, they had to plug it with something, which is why each interview should have been maybe tops 7 or 8 minutes. That then got increased to 15 minutes to try and plug the gaps.
I personally think I think that show could have easily been an hour.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
easily been an hour. And I think that one of the key things is, you know, if you are going to be going down that road and saying, look, here's our stuff. We're not talking about Saints Row. We're not talking about Metro and whatever it was they said beforehand.
Yeah.
So okay, that's it. That's great. So I was kind of sitting here expecting almost something mind-blowing, but instead it was the 12 games that were shown in the press conference yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, or a section of the 12 games that were shown in the conference yesterday. So I don't know. I feel a bit disappointed, but then at the same time, like, you know, it is their first showcase that they've done. So as Asim says, they're going to learn from it. They're going to, you know, they're going to be better, but not the way that you wanted to kick E3 off, really.
No, I feel like the short and snappy route, like you said, all of that could have been shoved in an hour. I think we'd seen maybe 6 minutes tops of video games out of the 2-hour show that they promoted, which leaves an hour and 54 minutes of just talking, and you selling stuff and us having a laugh, and also you leaving to go to the toilet was all part of the stream. So yeah, it's it's a shame that I don't want to say we're left with a sour taste in our mouths, because I feel overall the games of what they was talking about probably did hit and resonate with fan bases around the world. It's just that we didn't see. I think there was. I've written down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games, and I'm missing one, so it was 10 games overall. Kingdom Come Deliverance is coming to the Nintendo Switch. That's fantastic. Final Form is a working title, but it's the action sci-fi FPS. Dolmen is an RPG Doom-looking game. These are all just my brief notes, by the way. King's Bounty 2, medieval fantasy BB game. It's an RTS. Scars Above, sci-fi RPG third-person shooter. That looked great. Encased was the isometric top-down RPG that looked very much like Fallout 1 and 2. Echoes of the Land is an action-adventure. The Last, I don't know how to pronounce this and I'm going to butcher it, Orisiu, action gothic RPG, and then obviously Payday 3. So it feels like they have covered a lot of bases with their games. We just didn't see enough of them, in my opinion. And the talking and the trying to promote it with the behind-the-scenes look at how they're trying to create the games. I don't think this is the audience for it. We want short and snappy. We want 30 seconds of the trailer, maybe Jeff Keighley or someone just talking about it on what it's going to be, and then the devs or whoever it is, the PR person, talking about it for 2 or 3 minutes. Like I say, an hour for 10 games is more than enough. 2 hours, you've crossed the threshold there big time. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't think we can really say much more. Yeah. Again, you know, other than what we've said, it's going to be a learning experience, and I can't imagine what's going on Twitter at the minute. I imagine there's probably plenty of people. It's a shame. You know, I've not even bothered to look, but it's a shame. Yeah, it is a shame. It's a massive shame. But hopefully, you know, Koch can look at it and take it back and say, right, well, we've got. I've forgotten the name of the bloody publisher now. Prime Matter. That's the one. Yeah, you've got Prime Matter. We've got Deep Silver. Let's get everything out there. Maybe kind of bring it all under one banner. And you know, because that's what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be a bunch of different stuff. So yeah, like, can we see Saints Row soon? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of games that obviously got missed out today, and there's a lot of games. I reckon we potentially may see more at Gamescom, but that's obviously quite far away from now. We've still got another 4 days, maybe 5 worth of content. But again, thank you very much to each and every one of you that have joined us for today. We will be going live again tomorrow over at Asim's Twitch channel, where he will be joined by Shogun and Nico. That's at 8 PM. He probably, I'm not going to talk on behalf of you, Asim. I don't know when it is that you're going to be going live beforehand, but I've just dropped a link into the chat of everyone that's going to be hosting or being on these shows for the next couple of days. So do feel free to go in there. Make sure that you got the notification bells rung on all the Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, whatever it is that people are going to be streaming off, because there is a lot of content that we are going to be producing, supplying, and you guys digesting. But my Twitter name at We've Got a Beanio, Asim's Asim Tanvir, and then Ben's is Winstano. Is there anything that you guys want to finish the show off with before we wrap it up for today? Buy my shit. I knew he was going to say that. He's already made 50 quid this stream. This guy's up. No, I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. Just like, you know, follow Next Gen Base for some stuff. We're gonna have some more content coming soon. I've been working on a little video series for a while that yeah, I've had the concept for it for quite a while, but not actually got around to doing anything with it, and finally have done recently. So yeah, it's going to be a positive gaming video. Fantastic. Can you imagine that, lads? In this day and age, mate, I don't believe you. But guys, I've put in our Discord link into the chat. All the information that you require that will be in there. We will be listing when people are going live and announcing it over at our Discord. So if you're not already in our Discord, then feel free to do so, because that's where you're going to be getting all the information. Asim, is there anything else that you want to finish off with?
Just that. We'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll go live at around 7:45.
Yeah. Get that 15 minutes in.
Let's see.
But yeah, I'm going to say one thing, and one of the other guys can say the other thing. But again, thank you very much for each and every one of you that supply. I mean, ads dropping in the social links, keeping us company this evening, as well as you, Jordan, and Camaldino, and everybody else that's joined us. I very much appreciate it. Tharian Drake for the raid. But I want you guys to look after yourself this weekend. It's meant to be 26 degrees in Manchester. Make sure you get that sun cream on. Otherwise, you'll end up looking like me, all red and shit. But we have a slogan. We have something that we say at the end of each stream, guys. What is it?
Stay frosty.
Stay frosty.
Yeah, you'd love to see it. Take it easy, guys. Have a fantastic weekend. I'll see you soon.